Welcome to the 4205 cast. The Kings are coming at you live, but you'll hear us on tape delay. Today I have with me
Theo.
What?
Chris. Oh, that was terrible.
Joe.
Thank you.
I'm Andre. I'm not doing that either.
We have
that was
festive.
the right
we have
move.
festive side, and we have not festive side.
That works.
The cool guys and the not cool guys.
That's right, Andre. High five me for the cool guys. Right down below. Okay, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, the cool guys definitely got that.
I have to remember that my camera swapped, so I have to actually point this direction for you guys.
Yep.
So it's been a nice couple of weeks. What's been going on, guys? All right.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a bit trying over here on my end, but it's all right now.
stuff.
It's all right now. It's all right now.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's all right because it's Halloween.
It is Halloween. Ooh, scary. I should have done that in the intro.
Now you want to do
Now I
it.
want to do it.
Now you're a cool
I
guy.
have to un-high 500 now.
Sorry. pretty lame. I'm
We
sorry.
missed Halloween on a Saturday.
Oh, right?
Wow.
A
Yeah.
full moon Halloween on a Saturday. We missed that.
This
Imagine
year,
that.
man.
This year is something else.
Hey, whatever.
I mean, I personally don't care because I don't celebrate Halloween. This is the most Halloween thing I have.
I would not have gotten invited to any parties or had any costumes anyway, so whatever.
I actually had a party to go to tonight, but I don't like to go to parties when there's a pandemic going on.
No,
so
I don't blame you. Like, that's fine. You know, we get it. Just stay in your house and listen to Typo Negative all day. That's all.
That is a good move.
That's a good Halloween to me.
Isn't it like 2000y though?
It doesn't matter. It's perfect Halloween music.
If you guys hear random laughing in the background, that's Claire. She's watching Arsenic Lace right now. So
Oh, okay. I thought it was your neighbors having a party upstairs.
no, that was 2 weeks ago.
I thought that was.
no.
Are you telling me?
Or something?
Are you telling me the party didn't even last 2 weeks? What shitty neighbors you have, man.
Hey, man. You
Yeah,
know,
party.
what can I say?
People don't want to party.
No, they do not. Especially during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Who
That's
does
something
that?
They actually
Theo?
did feel like they knew.
I'm not there.
You sound like the kind of guy who would party during a pandemic, though.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I'm literally
I am.
recording with you guys, so I don't sound like that guy.
Yeah, I'm going to say probably not at this point.
You're that guy in secret.
Oh,
He's gonna
I just
sneak-
came back from the party. Yeah, you're right.
Right after, no, you kidding
Were
me?
you
You
drunk?
came back from the party though. Right after this, you're going to the party, man.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I can't even. This is the only time I can stay up past 10 o'clock when I'm recording this.
Oh, okay. Now I know. Now I know you're a late night party animal. Because only a late night party animal would lie like that.
Theo, do you have a problem? You okay?
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm
All right, just making
fantastic.
sure, man.
Yeah, fantastic.
God.
Okay. We got a pretty fat news segment, so
Pretty meaty. Pretty meaty.
Mhm.
let's try to do a turbo. What are you playing?
Turbo
Like,
with it,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, not take forever,
Okay.
not have an hour and a half, so that we squish all the news into 30 minutes, which
Let's
becomes
try to-
another hour and a half.
Yeah, we
You
can't.
want to try to flip that, right?
Flip that curve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? Hold on one second. Let me just make sure that we have no emails.
That's a good
before
idea.
we start,
Things
That's the thing
we
we got.
should have done at the start
Mhm.
before we started
private.
recording.
All right.
No, it's not cool. It's not cool anymore. It's not cool.
Spooky
It's not-
email. Okay, it's not.
We have an email
Oh, we do.
from
Wait.
Zoom Video Communication.
Oh,
Oh yeah, this is my favorite emails.
Fascinating.
Let's see here. Your offer expires this weekend. Unfortunately, we're not using you anymore. Bye bye.
Darn.
we're done.
Bye.
We're done with
Bye.
you. Peace.
All right, so let's see here, Theo.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you playing?
I am playing the Pokemon DLC, Isle of
Nice.
Armor and Crown Tundra.
Nice.
So Isle of Armor came out earlier this year, and
June?
when it came out, I really don't remember, but I'm gonna say yes.
Mhm.
And when it came out, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait until this whole package is together so I could just run through the whole thing. Because Isle of Armor, it didn't look lackluster, but I was like, I might kind of walk away from this not feeling, super hot about it.
It might not be meaty enough for you.
Yeah.
Mm.
And before starting this, I know a lot of people were talking kind of shit about it, saying that it's kind of short, is boring, and all that stuff. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
So what it is you are sent to a of not really a faraway island, but like an adjacent island to the wildlands, the wild area in the original game, where you are tasked to train this new Pokemon called Kubfu.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
He's really cute and like awesome, and you get him from the master or the trainer of Leon. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh,
So
so
when I heard that,
more shonen arc,
man. So when you get this guy, and then you're like, hey, you know, you have to give him courage and let him evolve into his better form. Urshifu, I believe is the name. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, all right, yeah.
There's two of them. Or it's just Urshifu in either one.
Well,
right?
there's two forms. There is the Swift Strike, which is the water type, and the Power Strike. I forgot what it is. The dark fighting, which is, I don't know why you would do that, because you have like 4 times weakness. Yeah.
Look, typing wise, it only makes sense to do the water one.
Yeah,
water fighting is insane.
It's really good. So
crazy.
And it's not very frequent typing either.
Exactly. Actually, there is one in. Well, it's not frequent, but there is one in. No, he's just a fighting type. Now that I think about it,
What type
the
is
octopus?
he?
Keldeo is water fighting.
Right? Keldeo was the last one that was. Yeah.
What you saying, Joe?
What I was asking what the type was. It's water fighting.
Water fighting. Okay. Yeah, that's the one I picked.
Fighting water, rather, but yeah.
So the first thing you notice is they drop you into the wild area into this game and into this DLC pack, and you can sense Game Freak is getting better with the wild area.
Okay.
Because there is a segment where you go through a forest and it feels like a legit forest. And I'm like, oh wow, this is really fun. Man.
There was effort, you mean?
Yeah, there's like actual effort in this thing. And then it's like a large landmass. And I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool. So to evolve Kubfu into the Pokemon Urshifu, I always mess up that name. You have to go through a tower and fight 5 trainers, and then you fight the master at the end. It is just, this thing is just a tournament arc, and it's great.
After the last tournament arc,
Pokemon is at its best when they just say, "Hey, fuck the story. This is just a giant Pokemon tournament arc where you sometimes do research for Pokemon shit." And
I'm all for it.
This whole arc is just incredible. Like Leon's master, the fight with him is so fucking hype. Like it's so hype. I'm like, oh shit. You know when you're fighting the gym leaders in the original game and like they do the Dynamax evolution and then the music starts to amp up.
Yeah.
This is way better.
That's saying something.
This is way. I had to download the song that like plays at the final battle. I'm like, what is going on with this thing, man?
Stadium chanting with the original with the last game's music is so.
It for real give me goosebumps every time it happens.
Oh my god!
Like for real. So it's really short. It's like maybe 5 to 6 hours. It doesn't overstay its welcome, but it's like really nice and neat. And I was actually very surprised that people were talking shit about this because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Urshifu.
That's never happened. Come on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a bit. So people are talking really high about Crown Tundra, which is like actually a way meteor expansion, and you get the whole hook with this one is you get the legendaries with this.
Yeah, I saw that.
Crown Tundra is all the legendaries for this game. Crown Tundra is possibly the most fun I've had with Pokemon since Gold and Silver.
Wow. Okay.
It's incredible to think that. Well, so the problem with that is a lot of it is promise of what the next game can be. Because like Ala Armor, you are dropped into the wild area. The whole map is just in wild area. And there is a town in the map, and you don't transition into that town. You walk from the wild area into the town. There is no like separate loading screen. Like the town is in the world, in the overworld. And I'm just like my mind is reeling and wandering this whole time. I'm like, yo, if Gen 9 is just
They'll
this,
let you down.
and that's the problem. That's why Pokemon fans are never happy, because you see like a glimmer in the distance. Like, oh, this could be really fucking cool if they go down this route.
I never blame them for it. Let me throw that out there.
Why?
I understand
Why?
for being upset the whole time. Yeah,
With
because
the fans.
yeah, they're.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant you don't blame Game Freak for their under ambition, like
mediocre fucking.
Oh my god! Like
efforts.
The design from the base game to Isle of Armor to this, you see them learning how to like actually
how to make the game.
How to how to actually make an interesting overworld. Like the only real problem with this is there are no like trainer battles in the overworld. Like if you imagine they kind of Metroid you in this sense where you could bring back HMs if it means that I get an interesting overworld with trainer battles where I'm locked out of a certain location. I'm totally fine with that.
I'm also totally fine with not having any trainer battles randomly stopping me from moving around and yelling about their shorts.
I love it. Give me that shit.
Yeah, I
like trainer battles.
Yeah, I don't mind trainer battles. It's other things that I'm not a fan of.
But. Yeah. The other addition to this, other than the legendaries, are the Dynamax Advent Tours.
Okay.
Yeah, they try to be cute with that word. Basically, it is remember the raids that they had in the base game?
Now they're dungeons.
Now they're what? Sorry?
Now they're dungeons.
Now they're dungeons. And they fixed a big problem that was in the base game, which is shields.
Oh god.
So the Dynamax raids in concept are incredible.
Yes.
But them shields suck.
I agree. You're not gonna hear any argument.
They fucking suck, man. Every time like a shield just pops up and you can't even do anything to negate the damage. You can't play it the way you want to play a Pokemon game where you're like, okay, let me use my super effective move to like take this shield down even faster or whatever. It's just like, hey,
it does take it down faster.
Don't put the fucking shields there.
Yeah, man.
They suck, man. Those battles are already not quick, and then for you to like add shields like sometimes 3 times.
I get it. I get it. Some of them are excessive, but like when you have actual, legitimately real trained Pokemon, they're not that terrible.
They slow down the pace way too much, in my opinion. And with this, you don't with the Dynamax Event Tours, you don't bring your own Pokemon in it. You actually use the rental system that they
rolled
have.
Up random Pokemon.
Yes,
it's a roguelike.
Yay, roguelikes! I like roguelikes.
It's actually really cool. You're not in the base game. If you're playing by yourself, there's some Pokemon you like just cannot catch if you play by yourself because the AI is just way too stupid and brings a fucking Magikarp that just want to splash the whole time. It's like,
yo, don't hate that Magikarp does work.
What else?
Is much better than
what else?
Some other
what else does Magikarp do besides splash?
That Magikarp has saved my ass.
Hey,
does Magikarp have more moves than Splash now? Is that a thing now?
Well, when it's level 55, it does have Hydro Pump.
Yeah,
Magikarp is Hydro Pump. I didn't know that.
Yeah, or Clefairy that does like follow me, and it's like, okay, cool. We're just gonna do that for 4 turns. Great, awesome. The cool thing with this is like each one actually takes a Pokemon from the rental system. So these are all actually trained up Pokemon that have actually a very curated moveset that will help you out along the dungeon. So when you fight a Pokemon, you could actually catch it, and then you could swap it out with the Pokemon that you caught. So by the time you get to the end, you see a legendary. And the awesome thing about it is the legendary has a 100% catch rate.
Ooh,
that's
so
nice.
You
have to worry about that.
So what I found myself doing is I think I'm just gonna do shiny hunting for legendaries.
Don't you have anything better to do?
Supposedly the rate is actually pretty good.
It's ridiculous. So if you have a shiny charm, well, if you don't have a shiny charm, it's 1 in 300. If you have a shiny charm, is 1 in 100. It is It is.
Hold on. Excuse me?
Yeah, it's doable.
Is that for everything now?
No,
just for the
legendary
okay.
raid.
I was about
raid.
okay. That I'm like
There's-
that's not crazy.
There's
Problem
some.
is most of the shiny legendaries look like shit.
Yeah, I
Dude,
do
they
want.
look bad.
I want the shiny birds though. The
Because they have
very.
their original colors.
Oh yeah, it's so good, so damn good.
I'm looking them up right now.
But I'm just thoroughly enjoying this DLC, and I enjoyed the base game a lot more than I actually thought I would. It's maybe my second favorite Pokemon. It's definitely in my top 3.
Okay.
But this rounded out the package to make it really, really, really incredible.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Pokemon.
that's
boys
Pokemon.
and boys
It's
and
still
their
good.
toys.
Yeah.
Huh? What you said, Joe?
Boys and their toys.
Boys and their toys. Pokemon is
Hey,
it's
man.
I keep
still
having
good.
to. By the way, I keep having to like do a double take every time I slightly move over. I think I'm gonna knock Chris's blade figure down off his room. Like I caught
Don't worry,
myself
Joe.
doing a double take. Like, oh, I better not knock that over. And then I'm like,
what are you doing?
like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, but yeah, just still playing through Pokemon. Really
Nice.
enjoying that. The new legendary God, Clytrex.
That dumb looking shit.
It's dumb.
Calyrex.
Calyrex. It's dumb, but he gets a he gets a form when he gets to ride a horse,
Okay.
and that shit is good.
Sure.
It's
not?
really good.
Does he
I
ride
wish-
like Zacian or anything like that?
No, it's his
He
own
has his own
special-
like
yeah
evil
mythical horse. Well, it depends what you wanna. If you want to make it a ghost version or ice version, I wish Game Freak would stop making. I wish they would just stop making ice Pokemon.
Well, it's not that ice Pokemon is the problem.
It's the abundance of fire.
It's ice type that's
This-
the problem.
Oh man, the typing is so bad,
What is it?
especially when you
Ice Psychic?
It's
ice
fine.
psychic. Ice is either ice ghost or ice psychic, I believe. I got the ice ghost variant.
I don't know. That doesn't sound that bad. I mean,
That typing is-
the
I'm just
fire
talking-
is always shitty.
I'm just talking about pure ice type. Is just
Pure Ice is
man,
the worst.
it's just why are we doing this, man?
There are some typings that exist for the sole purpose of being paired with
beat up
another
on?
type. No, being paired with another type. Ice is one of
Yeah.
them. It's almost like subtypings.
Real talk, the only reason I didn't start that fucking game is because I don't want to do all the busy work.
The busy
I-
work, you just transfer all of the busy work you already did.
No. I don't want like the busy work of even booting up my fucking DS and putting everything into.
Have you
fucking-
not done that already?
No, I haven't. I haven't done it.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause for what? Like, I'm not going to do it till I had to do it. And now that I'm like looking at this, and I was looking at Cub Fu, and I already know his best move list already, and what I'm gonna say. I'm assuming you can save Scum before he's given to you.
I haven't tried it because you don't need to. You have ability capsules in this game.
I
so
know.
it's like
Grudge
I don't
grind for those.
I-
Those are a pain in the ass to grind
I
for.
literally don't even care anymore. I'll catch Pokemon. I'm like, I don't even
Did-
care about your typing because I type
Did
your
you-
nature.
Did you see that they not only have ability capsules, but they also made a new type of ability capsule to give the hidden ability?
Yep. Yeah.
So now it just doesn't matter
I
what
don't
you
care.
catch.
I'm just catching you now.
You just catch whatever the hell you
I
want
don't
to, and you
care.
just
It's
get
great.
what you want.
It's great.
I
I love
seem
it.
to remember getting the ability capsules were a fucking nightmare though in this game.
They're not. If you have a well trained team, they kind of destroy not the battle tower.
Yeah,
I guess it
whatever
is
the
the
hell.
battle tower. Yeah, whatever.
Battle Tower's a nightmare.
In this game,
Yeah.
nah, you fuck
You don't
shit
even
up.
have to worry about it because if you have Pokemon Home, you just get free BP.
Well, that too.
Yes.
I have like
Oh right. Okay.
400. I
Oh
have
my
like
god, I probably
400
have so
BP.
much backed up.
You have
BP.
so much. I have like 400.
Oh my
I forgot
God.
to mention that each DLC adds 100 new Pokemon, quote unquote.
Right. You mean Pokemon back in?
Pokemon back in, yeah.
Right.
So I believe the number is maybe about 6 and change
Yeah, something like
of the
that.
total
Are
800.
they still
That's
adding?
fine.
They're still adding Pokemon models to this,
I mean, yeah, they added a couple.
yeah.
as they should.
My boy Hypno's not in it, so that kind of bums me out. But
That's
Your
fine.
your
Nobody
boy
uses
Hypno.
my boy Hypno.
It's an interesting
Oh my
boy to
frog,
have.
God damn it.
I like Hypno. He's good. What you said?
Give me my fucking frog back. I want my fucking frog. Give me my fucking shiny frog.
You have it. It's called.
No, I can't use him.
Called Football Rabbit.
I'm actually
too.
I'm actually shocked that Greninja's not in this game.
That is quite astonishing.
It's nuts. It doesn't make sense.
Actually, wasn't it?
I don't think it's shocking.
Isn't he like the single
Really?
most popular,
He broke
the most
the meta
popular
so
Pokemon
real bad.
from the previous generation?
There you go.
Oh, I did it! Oh no!
Good job,
So-
Joe.
My bad,
I
Wesley. My bad.
I actually saw a thread the other day I thought was pretty interesting. What is the third most recognizable Pokemon?
The third
Do you
most.
think? The third
So-
most, because we know 1 and 2.
1 and 2 would be Pikachu and what, Eevee?
I don't think
Really
he-
Yeah.
interesting.
I'm
Eevee,
guessing.
they call that Eevee merch for a reason.
Hmm.
I think it's
Really?
Eevee.
I think Charmander's Charizard is number 2.
Yeah, I would say that would be probably 3.
It's probably number 3.
I think Eevee's number 3. You know what? So my listing is Pikachu, Charizard, Mewtwo.
Yeah, that makes
How
sense.
dare you not include Oddish on that list?
How dare you not include Darmanitan?
That shows
Who?
boy.
I think Stunfisk would like a word with you in your tier list.
But I actually thought it was pretty interesting. Like if you go down the street and just ask parents, like, "Hey, what? Name 3 Pokemon."
Like Billy on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
why
know.
not?
I don't know about that. Like I saw a Billy on the street where he goes up to some lady and he's like, "Name a woman." And she couldn't come up with an answer.
What?
Oh yeah, all she had to do was say her. All she had to do was say me. I'm a woman, and he would have given.
Well, if Billy Eichner came up and was screaming at you, you'd probably be.
I'd be a little. I'd be a little flustered too. Yeah.
He is large and loud.
Yeah, but that's me this week.
Nice.
Cool.
Poker Mans.
Joe, what do you get?
Well,
What do you get?
well, what do I get?
What do you got?
What do I got? I got Stockholm Syndrome with this Pillars of Eternity game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just put it down.
Well, that's
Man,
the thing
the
about
whole point.
that's the thing about no. It actually I can put it down because it's
It's not
not.
always-
Yeah, the game kind of meanders.
Okay.
The level ups don't feel really all that powerful. There's a lot of busy words in the game that you take abilities and they put like various numbers and properties to them, like +2 to perception or penetration or whatever. I'm like, I have no idea how powerful this is really.
Can we stop this +2 shit in RPGs?
Yeah, I
fucking hate it.
It really bothers me. It really bothers me. There's like some abilities that like do damage and then add this effect. I'm like, I don't want this. I just rather take the passive or play a spellcaster class where I get new spells at every level.
Nothing sucks more when you have like a skill tree and you have to get one node before the next one is like add 0.5% of poison damage to something if you are using a poison. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, Path of Exile?
So bad.
Yeah,
And so much.
it kind of stings because the characters in the game are pretty nice, but the world is just you just wander around it, going from place to place. It's kind of like an open world map where like things actually like, scale up to like a certain level. They show you if something's out of your level has like red skulls and a sword or whatever, and they like, don't bother with it. Or if this ship that's chasing you is too powerful, you run away from it. But you can go where the hell you want. Like the main story is like 3 quests, but it takes a
So,
while if you
it's
level
like-
up to get there.
It's like Oblivion, like that. Then.
Yeah, more or less, kind of like that. Yeah. So I kind of wish the character growth in the game was, as far as the mechanics go, I wish that was a lot better, because it's kind of fun. After I get the hang of the combat, it is kind of
I knew
fun.
we'd get here.
Yeah.
When you were talking shit about it last week, I was like, all right, I've heard this song and dance
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get back
It's
here.
kind of it's still really chaotic, and
Uh-huh.
it's really hard to take control of. Like you give commands and sometimes they still don't obey. You lose control of what character is what in a giant blob of stuff. It's still a chaotic mess, and it's still kind of insufferable at times, but it kind of gets there at the higher levels. Kind of gets there. I started a new character where I had like this super attack, and my melee attacks do like splash damage, so they're like tearing through like mobs of shit at a time, or just getting completely decimated for reasons I can't understand. I still can't control who's attacking what as far as the enemies go. It's really chaotic, and I kind of wish I could rein in it a little bit. I would like this a lot more, but I can't stand playing it for a very long now because it just gets kind of dull.
Mm.
You just
narratively or mechanically.
A little bit of both. Because sometimes you just hit a wall mechanically, and sometimes you hit a wall narratively. Because there's really not a lot to it. You just go from island to island, doing quests for things and selecting dialogue choices, and it's really cool when you can wander into a place and say, "Hi, I'm the Watcher, Captain of the Ocean Fucker." And then you see Ocean Fucker in bright orange letters on the side of your boat, and I'm like, this is great. And I like to name my ship something like the Ocean Fucker, and that's awesome. Dialogue system is pretty good. You can choose various things that affect your demeanor, and that's kind of a little bit affects how people talk to you, but not really, because everything is like really super scripted. It's all right. It's nowhere near as good as Divinity was for me. I expect to be done with it after, well, maybe not even after this playthrough. I mean, I haven't loaded it up in a couple of days.
Have you finished it yet?
I did. I finished a playthrough where I went as far as I think I could have gotten with a spellcaster class.
Okay.
I got to max level. I got all the spells I wanted, and it was doing a lot of damage, but it still didn't feel like enough. It didn't feel impactful. That was it. That was my biggest problem with it. Nothing really felt impactful. I would toss something on the ground, and it would explode, and then I would do what looked like very low damage, and the effect just didn't resonate. Like I would throw a chain.
It didn't feel good.
I would throw a chain lightning spell, and it would look like a string of LEDs wandering across. It didn't have that. Like this should have like a giant electric impactful burst. Yeah,
you can't mess up chain lightning.
You can't mess up chain lightning. It doesn't. It doesn't have the impact in combat. It's still kind of fun, but it's really missing that quite a bit. So, I think I'm gonna be as soon as I have something new. Like something really solidly new, I think I'm just gonna set this aside. And people I know are starting to play Divinity again, so
they postponed the DLC for this, correct?
There's DLC for the. Oh, I didn't buy the DLC because I don't think I like it that much to buy the DLC for it.
Okay,
might be done with it already.
Yeah, kind of, sorta. I'm having fun playing around with like character builds, but there's just so much junk in the character trees that. Especially with multi-classing, because you level up both classes slower. You get to like the meat very, very slowly.
And they said they recommended that you don't multi-class.
Well, in my second playthrough, I picked a multi-class character where I had a mind magician with like a soul whip melee enhancer, and I selected barbarian as my other class, so I'd have like
I love soul whips.
Yeah, so I have this like wicked powerful melee attack that did like splash damage, and I'm just buffing my ability to hit and do damage. I'm like, yeah, it's super good, and it does a lot of damage, and it was really impactful at the start, and it's kind of like falling off now as I get fewer and fewer abilities to select. So I have fun conceptualizing characters. It just doesn't feel very good getting there. You know, the higher level ability. I'm just selecting classes just for the passives. Like the only thing that makes Rogue any good, the only ability I like out of Rogue was that it has sneak attack. Like if your character,
that's the only reason Rogue is good.
Yeah, if your character's Rogue, you have sneak attack, and I'm looking at all the Rogue abilities. I'm like, I hate every one of these.
How far down the tree is the sneak attack?
You get it just from being a Rogue. It's automatic. Yeah.
So you can't take it off Final Fantasy Tactics style and just equip it when you're not a rogue.
No, you have to be a rogue. So you only get two multi-classes. You only get two classes for multi-class. You can't like take another side trip into a third class, which should be awesome because I already have sneak attack. It's also a pain in the neck setting up sneak attack because everything's always moving.
Yeah, that's like a problem.
I forgot you're not playing turn turn-based.
No,
right?
I did try that, and I decided, no, I don't want this.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not made for turn-based, and it just didn't feel very good. So I made like a sneak attacking monk, and that was fun, but I think the melee enhanced barbarian was a lot better. There's some really unique classes to this game, like there's a chanter, like it was kind of like a bard, where you're like reading off buff phrases that scroll on by like musical notes, as you can see it on the side of the screen. It's pretty neat.
That's cool.
Really fills in
That's
the details. So it
that's
has
kinda
like
how the,
it has there's great.
Ping does that. Monster Hunter with the
Yeah.
hunting horn.
Yeah, it has good RPG elements, but I just don't think the impact is there. So that's probably my final opinion on Pillars of Eternity 2. Just shoot other ships in the ocean, fucker.
I don't recall that being the name. Of
No,
your
no,
ship.
this no. In my
So that's your new ship.
in my previous playthrough, the name of my ship was Ding Dong Ping Pong Wallaby Doo.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Good.
Only because I ran out of letters.
I will call it the Arrow Dalton Imperial.
Arrow Dalton Imperial. That's honestly I had the most fun walking around introducing myself as the captain of ridiculous ship name here. And seeing NPCs wander around like, were you the captain of the ocean fucker? Yeah,
That does sound fun.
Yeah,
You wanna come back to my boat?
fucking right, I'm the captain of the ocean fucker. The most fun I had this week with games though is after some Zelda races, some disappointing Zelda race losses, I've been loading up Deus Ex.
Yeah.
And I've been doing my Wet Bandits playthrough where I'm counting the faucets, but I'm just having fun playing this game again.
Well, yeah.
I'm just
like your favorite
I'm
game
just
ever.
really, really enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Like your Daniel Stern counter for the Wet Bandits on the bottom.
No, there's Joe Pesci's there too.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's
I know
flank.
Daniel
Yeah, it's
Stern.
flanked by
Comes
the
out of
heads.
Wet Bandits.
Yes.
Right.
Plural.
Yeah.
Shut it, Mauve! Fucking love that movie.
Oh man. Yeah,
So
that's
good.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I can't do a sticky bandits playthrough, so I don't know what to do with that. But every time I turn the faucet on, it stays on. I am flooded with an immense feeling of joy. Every single time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was good.
Yeah, just going through this game, hearing the amazing voice lines, the hilarious dialogue.
Oh man, the pinnacle of voice acting.
Oh, it's great. I was
In
really
your face, Metal Gear.
I was really trying to get like the deadpan J.C. Denton kills this lady's father, and he's like, "What a shame."
This game came out 2000, right?
20 years ago. Yeah, this is the 20th anniversary of Deus Ex. Still good. Still a really good game.
You're playing it with the mod?
I'm playing with GMDX.
Okay.
Because that fixes the lighting enough for it to be streamable.
Yeah.
The game is really dark.
Yes, it is.
Really dark. Yeah. Even with the mod, I'm checking my VODs. I'm like, this is still really dark.
It's really dark.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out a way to fix that because I clipped some things and in the clip it wasn't dark. Something's going on there. But I'm still having a lot of fun with it. I'm thinking about just doing a casual playthrough just to do on the side in addition to the Wet Bandit stream. I mean, granted, of course, I'm still going to turn the faucets on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Why else would you play?
Yeah.
Well, because it's Deus Ex and it's fun.
Yeah, but
If you're not turning what makes it fun for you.
Well, the stealth combat is really, really good. It's challenging enough that you feel like maybe I should just brute force my way through this, and sometimes you do. And figuring out an optimal path is very, very rewarding. Also, the level design is incredible. Absolutely incredible level design. Things wind around in so many directions, you can literally choose how you want to get to a place. If sometimes you don't even remember where to go because there's so many choices, and you just want to go down all the paths anyway.
Yeah.
I love this game. Always did and always will. It's still fun 20 years later.
Nice.
Yeah.
Glad it still holds up.
Me too.
That's always a good feeling when you go back to an old game. You're like, oh yeah, I
even
love
with
this game.
even
Now
with
play Invisible War. You coward.
No, Invisible War is not good.
It's not a good game though.
It might be the Invisible War, maybe the worst sequel ever made.
Devil May Cry 2 exists.
Nope.
No,
Devil May Cry 2 might not be a very good game, but it still has like some level of not garbage.
Yeah,
there are things in the game that aren't bad.
Invisible War took everything that was good in Deus Ex and just decided not to do any of the good stuff. You know what's really fascinating about Deus Ex? That takes place in like 2072 New York City.
Mm-hmm.
So like looking at New York City exclusive stuff, like there's a subway map, which is pretty much just the 2000 subway map.
Because that would never change.
No, right? No. So I spent.
Is there a Second Avenue line?
I spent my time looking at it, and I'm like, "There's no Second Avenue line here. This map is accurate."
Yep.
There's still no Second Avenue line in 2070.
Well, to be fair, it does exist, kind of. Now it does.
No, the G line
kind of exists.
3 stops.
Yeah, the G line.
It's a start.
The G line terminates at Smith and 9th. I'm like, nope, that changed. That's factually incorrect.
Yeah.
It's details like that which I never really paid much attention to on my original playthrough. I'm just looking at and just appreciating a lot more because they throw that in. And I'm like, somebody worked on this. Somebody thought about this.
Probably a New York native too.
Yeah, I wonder. It's possible.
Just found the PDF of the.
Right.
Like I was looking at a political map of the world. And seeing things that have changed or have not changed, and I'm like looking at the United States, and it's separated into 3 different provinces instead of 50-something states.
Yike!
Yeah, there's countries I don't recognize.
By the way, that's probably going to happen anyway.
Yeah, right. Burma is still there. Burma apparently comes back in the future. Fascinating stuff. I love like little things like that. The amount of detail in this game makes me appreciate it all that much more.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I should definitely go through this game once.
You haven't gone through it? It was.
I got maybe 4 hours in with the mod about a few years back.
Okay.
It was fun. I just stopped playing.
Stop playing. I get it. Okay.
I liked it, but just.
I mean, it does feel a little.
Is this pre-gaming chair?
yeah, it actually
it might have been a factor.
To be honest with you, other than the graphics, it doesn't really feel that outdated.
The voice acting does make it.
It does. The voice acting, it makes it feel outdated, but it's endearing.
I'll
like
appreciate
it's 90s anime dub.
It's really endearing, and sometimes you don't even really notice because
that's not going to bother me at all.
Yeah, it's a little.
If anything, it'll only make Theo like it more.
There you go.
It's a little sci-fi novel dialogue kind of stuff, where people are just randomly having in-depth political conversation, like on the side. I'm like, 2 soldiers would not be talking about this right now.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I work in a weird place.
I get it, but I like the choice this game gives you. You can go into a situation with a rocket launcher or a pea shooter. And either way is viable. I don't think there's any boss fights, and if there are, you can research things to instantly win if you're diligent enough. This game rewards dedicated playing and diving in deep. I would absolutely play it. Someone was talking to me about it, say they never heard of it, and I'm trying to think of a comparison. I'm like, this was The Witcher 3 of its time.
Nah, that's probably the closest.
Yeah.
That makes
it was the most contemporary reference I could make to it. So,
okay,
which is why I'm so excited for Cyberpunk 2077 because that needs to be a modern day Deus Ex for me. I'm looking. I have been looking for something like that for 20 years.
Have you played Prey? The new Prey?
I have not played Prey.
I don't think that the world of the new Prey is something that he's looking for in it.
Yeah, I would
like it's pretty contained.
That. Yeah, and it's not enough NPCs to interact.
Well, it's not about the NPC. It's just about the world that's there. I'm still finding new things. I found a new thing on my last playthrough.
That's always a real good feel.
Yeah, I can't say that about any other game. Maybe
No, you
NHL 2000.
NHL 2002.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
Yeah. I mean, I found I have a couple other things, but I haven't really dove that deep into it. Like I found an Axiom Verge randomizer. That's fun.
Ooh, is that why you were playing it the other day? I saw you playing it the other day.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah, they've added in like stuff that's in assets that were in the game but taken out of the base game. So I found a couple of new weapons I've never seen. And that was neat. That was a fun experience. I look forward to jumping into that a little bit more.
I like it when randomizers do that.
It's great, isn't it? I'm just right now spinning my wheel until I get that Yakuza.
Oh yeah, I was about to say spinning until December, but you don't have to wait that long.
No, I don't.
Because you have something else.
Yeah. Thank goodness for that. But that's me this week.
All right. So Chris, what do you got?
So I started up Donkey Kong Country 2 randomly because I forgot they added it to the Super Nintendo Switch service. And was just playing through that. I'm like, fuck, this game is so goddamn good.
It holds up. It
really does, man. Like I honestly, I just did it to relax a couple days, like a week ago. Like I want to play something, but I need something that's gonna relax me a little bit. And I'm like, okay. And then I got to Bramble Blast, and I was like, okay. And this is where I stopped.
Do you know why? Do you know why it holds?
Listening to the music for
Do you know why it holds up? Because platforms didn't have anywhere to go after that.
They 2D platformers.
Yeah, 2D platformers. They didn't have anywhere else to go.
You know what's actually a really good one that doesn't get a lot of love, but it has a really amazing sense of verticality to it. Tomba.
Tomba was good.
1 and 2. Those games are really, really cool 2D platformers.
I feel like I'm the only one that don't like Tomba at all, man.
I've never played it.
Rayman was good too.
Rayman is
incredible.
Yeah.
The sequel.
Yeah, I definitely feel like Tomba, even though it's not my favorite game in the world, like scale and verticality to that game, that is incredible. So I'm a big. I don't love it, but like I respect that game. So like there were places to go still, but DKC 2 is definitely in the the highest echelon of fucking 2D platforms for sure.
And you've never played Tropical Freeze, correct?
No, I'm going to though. Next time it's on sale, I'm gonna buy it.
Good luck.
They go on sale once a year.
Okay.
Nintendo games.
All right.
They'll split them usually, and I'll probably pick it up then because it's been on sale before, and it'll be on sale again.
A couple of times.
It won't be cheaper than $42 or whatever, but that's fine. Like that's okay. That's as best as I'm gonna get, and I'm fine with that. So played that a little bit. Guilty Gear Accent Core.
This game is all over the place right now.
Well, yeah, because it got rollback.
It's amazing what rollback has been doing for fighting games these days.
So apparently my MO now is, hey, we put rollback into this game. I buy it.
Yeah.
And I just play it. And like, oh my God, I'm
not
the only person. There's 2,000
thousands of other people are doing it. It worked for King of Fighters 2002.
It worked when they did it with Garo and Last Blade 2, like earlier in the year. They gave those two games.
I want to know what Last Blade character they're going to add to Sam Show. Put that on.
They added the Neo Geo version onto the Switch the other day.
Well, that's the Pocket Color one, yeah.
The Pocket, last year, something like that.
Yeah. So that's exciting. I hope they do more of that because man, if they put the SNK versus Capcom game on the Switch, that is a day one purchase for me. That game is awesome. That's a fantastic game.
I don't know if it's fantastic.
For like what system it's on and the effort that was put, pretty great.
I will say they did put an effort, but
there's a lot of love in that game. And it's really cool.
I think the game is kind of a mess when you actually play it.
It's fun. It's stupid fun, much like any fighting game from that era.
Oh yeah,
it's most fighting games, broken fun.
Fighting games from that time are pretty much a mess.
Yeah, dude,
beloved messes, but still a mess.
Exactly, right. So I took Accent Core. I haven't actually played R. The last one I had played was Accent Core Plus, which was the version right before this one. So I have actually never played this current version. I just said, fuck it. Took Kyle online immediately. Remembered how to play him while I was playing other people. Yeah, it did pretty well.
All right.
I got off a few Blue Roman cancels with his fireball, with his fierce fireball. So I felt good about that. That essentially means I canceled it and was able to run forward fireball.
Because you have like amazing frame advantage if you cancel that fireball. You just turn that on, rush forward. You have like 3 hits to work with.
Let me tell you something, man.
City.
People are still allergic to his overhead because the active frames on that shit are stupid in that game.
His overhead is so hard to.
It's so good.
It's so hard to block.
It's active for the entirety of it too, and it's not even that fast as far as overheads go.
It's so hard to block.
It's a hard overhead to block.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So I'll just ride the lightning after that. I mean,
makes me glad. Makes me glad I'm a Faust player, so I don't have to deal with that all the time.
Well, you're usually keeping people around.
Yeah.
so I was playing a little bit of Double X Accent Core R, which was just, man, I forgot how good that fucking game feels.
You don't think your games feel really good? It's just bogged down by like a lot of things to understand.
I think I like the way that game feels more than I like Rev. Like, I like Rev a lot.
Rev is like the problem of being like beefy. You know, all the characters have mass.
Yeah, there's too much. Like, I love how fast and zippy Double X is. Like, the air dashes come out almost too fast in that game, and they go too far. Like, it's just you blink and the person's in your face, and it's like, oh my god.
Anime fighters switch.
That was just Guilty Gear.
That was Guilty Gear forever. It should be.
Fix the stride air dash.
God, that air dash. They need to make that air dash feel good.
It
does not. It does not feel good. No. So I was playing a little bit of that. That's just really fun. I bought a bunch of. I own all the Guilty Gear games now. Steam sales.
Well, this is your first. Steam,
everyone.
This is your first Steam sale with your new rig, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Double Dragon Neon got bought for $5. I bought Them's Fighting Herds. I haven't booted it up yet, but I'm excited to. Because it was like $8 or whatever.
Until you go down the list and he's like, in your library. And he's like, cool, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have that problem currently, but I will.
I mean, if you ran in a little bit, you find little gems here and there.
Yeah. Here and there.
That's how I discovered.
I just go on my wish list now. I'm like, what's on sale? Nothing.
That's what I do. That's what I do. That's exactly what I do. I don't currently. I have enough shit on my wish list. I bought like Melty Blood was like $5. The last version of Melty Blood.
I can't stand Melty Blood.
I don't like Melty Blood that much.
Every time I see it on sale, I'm like, should I get it?
It's on your wish list.
I know it's on my wish list, and it's always on sale for $5. And I'm like, should I get it? And I'm not gonna play it.
I bought it, even though I'm probably not gonna play it.
A game that I would just turn it on and just listen to the music.
I mean,
that's fine. Sometimes you need to do that. I do that with Smash Brothers.
Other ways to do that, though.
Yeah, well, it's $5, so like. The way I looked at it, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Why not? I'm sure I'll find someone who has this game and might want to play it with me. So I just bought it. I'm like, look, if it's a fighting game, I'm going to buy it.
This version of Melty I'm completely unfamiliar with. So.
Yeah, I've never played this. The last one I played was like a PS2 version.
So I'm not even familiar with that version. Like, I'm familiar with Melty Blood 1.0 bootleg PC version.
Dude, I haven't played Melty Blood. I played whichever version was the PS2 and that was 15 years ago.
So that again, we lost you there.
Can you hear me now?
Played the last one on PS2, which is like
15 years ago. Okay. Yeah, right. Like a million years ago. So
Melty Blood bathroom stall edition.
Exactly. God damn it.
Where the anime games belong.
That's
in the bathroom at Evo. So I was playing
or whatever it is now.
Double X with the rest of the world apparently, and I started up because it was, I was feeling like playing something scary. I was originally going to start up Resident Evil 4 again. But I said, wait a minute. That's not scary. That's dumb.
It's not scary.
Great. No, it makes you feel tense, but it's not scary. Yeah. So I said, wait a minute. I have Resident Evil 2. What the fuck am I doing? So I booted up Resident Evil 2.
The remake? The remake,
yes. That game is incredible.
Yeah, I've seen... I've been watching Adam Cole playing it.
It is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing on normal. I'm not playing with set ink ribbons because I'm rusty. And I was never great at Resident Evil anyway. So, and I'm like taking shots at zombies' heads. I think it's like 6 shots to down a zombie. So
sometimes you get the lucky critical if you aim it correctly.
I mean, do we have time
they give you in the game?
Do we even have time for ink ribbons anymore? worry about that shit?
they're there. If you play it on hard, you
No.
get
I'm saying, do we as people, as adults, do we have time to worry about that shit? Like, not being able to
in
save
real
your
life?
game.
No,
If
no.
you are
being
a
able
Resident
to
Evil
being
maniac,
able to save your game whenever you want. Do we have to?
Yeah,
dude. If
you
you're
run through that game you run through that game, no problem. You don't even have to.
if you know the game, you run it. Like that's
Well,
just,
right. Yeah.
If you're a Resident Evil nut, then yeah.
Okay.
Look, it's a hard mode. It's part of hard mode, which is great. I'm not playing on hard mode because I no, and like I said, I was never great at Resident Evil. So yeah, man, the lighting in that game.
It's well made.
I think that is the best looking game this whole generation.
I think you are right. Actually,
it is like
nuts.
It straddles the line between like realistic and like Capcom's like incredible art design.
Yes,
it's absolute. Like I'm in awe every time I see that game.
There's a scene where Leon rolls a body over, right? And they showed this shit in the trailer because they knew. They were like, "Oh, this is the scene, right?" And like where the zombie, like he like rolls over the guy. It's not even a zombie; it's just a dead guy, right? And he has like this giant gash like going down his cheek, right? Leon rolls him over to like check on the guy, and like the body like slumps downward, right? And you just see the skin and the muscle,
the
like
sinew and all that shit
fall apart, like in like the craziest, goriest detail. Just as it's like. Oh, it's like sliding off of his fucking face, man. It is gnarly, but it's also like visually incredible.
Yeah, I think that game looks like bonkers. How good it is.
I'm only like I'm still on the PlayStation. I haven't even seen Mr. X yet. I'm just like running around.
That's gonna be fun. Do you know when he comes?
What happened?
Do you know when he comes?
No, I can't remember. It's been too long.
That's gonna be fun.
That's the best thing about this because I haven't played Resident Evil 2 since the PlayStation.
Okay,
so, like, I'm very excited to play through this right now.
I watched a Shinji Mikami documentary the other day. It was like about 40 minutes long, and it really fascinating. By the way, just talking about the development of like him in the early days of Capcom and Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So when he made Resident Evil 1 through 3, well, he didn't direct the second and third game, but he was like a producer on those games.
Yeah.
He talked about how because of the limitation of the PlayStation, he really didn't want tank controls, right? So people would come up to him and they're like, oh my god, that game is so scary because it has the tank controls. And I'm like, I gotta. And he's like so embarrassed because he's like, I did not want the game to be like that. I did not want. So I'm like, oh my god, Shinji Mikami hated tank controls.
That's amazing.
When he made Resident Evil 4, he was like, okay, this is what I actually
never
want.
Again. No more.
I was like, this is incredible.
The happiest accident in all of video games.
I mean, yeah, I guess so.
It's hilarious.
He was like, I'm so embarrassed whenever people come up to me and they're like, they love the controls. He's like, I did not want it to be like that.
Well, Resident Evil 3, I think, like, eased up on the tank controls. Like, I think there's an option to turn them off in 3. I think, unless the original 3, but
yeah.
So yeah, so I just started that, and I'm probably gonna do a full playthrough of that as time goes on. I'm really happy.
It's like 10 hours long.
Yeah, it's not long. I might do Claire's.
You definitely should.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Claire's. I'm not gonna do. I don't know if I'll do their second. Like run.
That's where I stopped. I did Leon A, Claire B, and I didn't do Claire.
Yeah, I might do that and stop there.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Is Hung playable in this game?
In
the 2 remake?
Yes, but in the
Mercenaries.
There's Mercenaries. There's an extra mode.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah, he's playable in that.
That's my boy. So gotta use my boy.
Tofu's in it as well.
Of course he is. I knew that. Should have put Akuma in.
That would have been good.
That would have been top tier.
Put Akuma in Resident Evil.
Hey,
hell
man,
yeah!
That was the EGM fucking
I remember
prank from back in the day.
I remember that. Yeah.
So God, EGM's pranks were so good.
They were very one track on Capcom though.
Well,
I mean,
it
would make sense that Capcom would do something like that.
Yeah, because Capcom is all about putting Easter eggs of their all their games.
Yeah, but they never actually did they?
Well, they did. It's just like, but they're like little things.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much me.
All right, cool.
All right,
playing
Genshin Impact.
I'm playing Genshin Impact for the most part, which hasn't changed. However, Trails of Cold Steel 4 came out. So
there we go.
Conclusion to the story.
I need to play my Avengers Endgame. And so far, I haven't gotten too deep into it, unfortunately, because of a little issue that happened on a PlayStation Store. So they offered the deluxe version of this game, which is $80. Digital deluxe, $80. They offered it to PlayStation Plus members for $45, which is less than the standard edition. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'm going to pre-order this now. This is a
super duper mistake.
Nearly half off. Why the hell not?
Right.
So it comes to the day of the game's launch, and it's not preloading. And apparently what happened was somebody didn't turn the switch on for this version of the game.
But the deluxe
version. So the PS Plus sale version of the deluxe game.
Oh.
But if you bought the regular version, you would have been fine.
I would have been perfect if I didn't pre-order it.
No.
I would have been fine.
I'd have still been okay.
Yeah, so I was just like,
still kind of worth it.
I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm annoyed because I want to play the game, but then I'm just like,
I got this for half off.
They're gonna figure this out because I got this for half off. I'm not asking for a refund, so they're gonna figure it out.
Of course, you're not
and
an idiot.
Of course, the so many people are just like, I have to play this on minute 1. I must give me my refund. I'll rebuy it.
Wow,
like,
really?
Guys,
that's $45.
Chill out. Like,
thirst is real, bro.
Like after tax, it was $48. Like the normal version of the game is $60. Like, come on now. Like, don't refund this. So
gotta see that hot tub scene, man.
And it's published by NIS America. So you were a player of Ease 8, right, Theo? Yeah, that game was a botch job.
Yeah, it was.
Since NIS America took over the publishing of this game in America from Exceed, people have just been like, when are they going to give us the treatment they gave Ease 8? And so far, so good. They haven't.
That's
but
good.
This was oh yeah, you're just gonna take our money and not give us a game? Yeah,
it's no bueno.
So
when did they unlock?
The next day.
Yeah, it's not so bad. Yeah,
they fixed it.
Yeah,
it got delayed in Australia and New Zealand regions, like physical copies of the game, because of our ongoing global situation.
Yeah. Right.
So there are like a whole lot of like Australia players that were just like, you guys, like, are you seriously mad about this right now? Like this is what you're
Australian
Second
gamers
we're not getting this game.
Australian players usually have to deal with a lot of shit.
Yeah, they do. I don't even know how they're allowed to play this game in Australia, honestly.
Why
like a scene like maybe like an hour, 2 hours in where it's just like, oh, this is this is sexual assault.
Oh boy.
And it's not rape. They play it to humor, but it's like, if you stop and think about it, it's like, you know what, that is kind of rapey.
Yeah, some guy on a motorcycle slapping asses and a.
God damn it.
No,
that came back up.
Yeah.
It's a boob fondling scene, and it's a female on female boob fondling scene.
That's exactly what my next question was going to be.
It is played up for laughs as opposed to, hey,
sexual
assault problem.
Your body's so crazy. Oh my god, I wish I had a body like that.
Oh my god, I hate anime.
Pretty much 100%. This is an anime game, so
yeah,
and it was always kind of harem-y from the beginning, but as each game went by, they were just like, okay, we're just gonna keep cranking up the fan service, and with the way the last game ended, I was like, okay, this next game is gonna be like super serious, because like shit goes down in the ending moments, and it's like, I don't know how you can go back to a game of laughs after what happened. Right. Not even 2 hours in, and they're fan servicing for laughs.
Are you saying this really sounds like it put you off?
I was not thrilled about the scene, but I can ignore it.
Okay.
It's not going to stop me from playing the game, but
It'll be worth it to get through the rest of the story.
It does make me feel like this type of thing is just going to keep happening. And I'm just like, I need to see where the story goes. Like, there's no way I can't see where this story goes, but like, I don't know why you put that in.
You're at the fourth game. How long is each game? Like 40 hours? 40, 50 hours?
Like 80 hours.
Fuck me.
each of the games I put 80 hours into.
It's a real RPG, yo.
And,
I'm about to say.
And they all have New Game Pluses, and I didn't touch New Game Plus on any of them. 80 hours, easy.
Damn.
The last game, it clocked in at more than 80 hours for me, but that was, I had the child taking a lot of time away from me at that point. Where it was just like I would have to put the game down for like an hour, and my PlayStation would turn itself off, and then I would okay, cool, I finally fixed that. Let me just he needs it. He needs me again.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of time wasted in that where it was just like on menus and stuff. But
right now, without seeing the ending, is this your favorite story like game that you've played that continues through each title?
I've only played.
It's not that much when you really think about it.
Yeah, like the continuous direct sequel.
Yeah.
Game that builds on itself, and I feel like Mass Effect and Quest for Glory.
I was about to say
really like the only ones that I've played.
Quest for Glory had like a self-contained narrative
horror game. Your favorite?
Say that again, Joe, because I don't want to answer that question.
Oh. I said Quest for Glory had some vague continuity, but each story was like unique.
Well, you were the same character.
Yes.
And there was like continuity. Like there was things that if you did it in the first game would come back in the fourth game.
You know what it felt like? It felt like those games were kind of like a series of novels starring the same main character. Yeah, that's what it felt like.
Okay.
But I don't know. I haven't played Cold Steel. How do you compare it to that? Is it the same thing? Like each game has its own narrative, or does each game continue the narrative?
Oh, it continues the narrative.
Okay.
And the narrative has been going since the 5 games before it.
What's this universe called? The Crossbell universe?
No. Crossbell is one of the...
It's a game.
One of the areas. Yeah, there's 2 games with Crossbell.
Okay.
And I'm forgetting 3 games with Liberl. And then there's 4 games in Erebonia. And like, I don't even remember the name of the world right now. It's just all of that is in the same world, and there's more stuff on the map that I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't even know where that's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just like, they've already released like another game with Hajime or something, not Hajime, Hajimari.
Mm-hmm.
Trails of the Beginning, I think, is the English translation, although they haven't actually localized anything for the game, so it doesn't have an official English title. Mm-hmm. But I believe that's what it's called. The word would be Senno Hajimari or something. It's Trails of the Beginning. Yeah. Anyway, just a couple of few hours, like 5 or 6 hours into the game, and it's early enough to not really have any major opinions on it outside of I don't think that scene should have happened. Mm-hmm. But the gameplay is pretty familiar. They Metroid you in this because, by the end of the last game, you were like, pretty powerful. So they have to be like, we need to have a compelling reason why you're not going to be powerful at the beginning of this game.
Is it compelling?
So there were a lot of balance issues with the last game. So there was this system of, it's called Brave Orders, where you can put like a buff on your party. Mm-hmm. And those buffs were really bonkers in the third game. And when you figure it out, you're at the point where enemies don't even get turns.
Yeah, that's my favorite shit.
Like I was beating end game bosses, and they literally, the only reason they went was because they had initiative. And I could not
battle.
They started off like, well, they go first, which means I lose.
And then they were like, in this game, you have the same brave orders, but they're weaker because they're like, okay, well, some of these were kind of a little overtuned. And then the characters even mention, and they're like, hey, my brave order does not feel as good as it used to be.
Oh, they narrative. Okay, all right.
And they were like, yeah, well, this happened because of the situation that happened at the end of the third game where all of this, blah, 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 and you were out for 2 weeks and like all of your power got drained. Give me your Varia suit.
So are they okay? Are they relatively weaker? Like, okay, like I know you start at level 1 in this game, I presume, right?
28, but then after like a quick event, you're at 50.
What? Okay, whatever. But
Sure.
but like within the world, within the narrative of that world, are you still that strong?
No, you are definitely considered weaker than what you were at the end of the last game in the
like
narrative.
I kind of like that.
I mean,
cool.
if you want
As
to
opposed to
set up a self-contained sequel, then yeah.
yeah, like as well. At the end of the previous 3 games, you are definitely acknowledged as you are stronger in each game. So in this one, when you started, you're acknowledged as you are definitely not stronger. Even though like in the third game you started over because there's no system link between them. Like there's a narrative link, but there's no system link.
Mm-hmm.
So like you end one and you say you're like your level the expected level that you end one at is about like 80.
Mm-hmm.
Started 2, you started 2 at like level 65. And it's like, okay, well, we got to give you something to gain here, but you're not gaining that many levels in this game. And then in 3, they said, okay, we're going to turn it back because there's no, like, you can't import your file.
Yeah.
We're going to turn it back. You got new characters. But then they say, here, the main character is stronger than the other characters that you get in this game. So he's like 5-10 levels higher than everybody else for most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And this, they're just like, well, you ended the last game at like level 90, but you lost all your power. It's gone. It's gone. You're just garbage right now.
Trash.
I don't know. I kind of like narratively. I think that's kind of cool. Like one of my favorite anime is Kenshin, and because he doesn't kill anymore, he's considered weaker, and like he constantly sees enemies from his past. He's like, oh, you're much weaker now, but Tosai, and it's like, nah, he's still that dude though.
He still get wrecked. Catch you, don't fuck around.
So this game, it definitely expects that you've played like all of the games before it.
I would hope so.
Because I started the Sky series, but things got hectic with work and I kind of stopped playing it. But like, I'm maybe 60% through that game. And they start this game and they just drop plot spoiler bombshell about the first game. And I'm just like, okay, well, yeah. I guess I would have learned that at some point.
I mean, that's what this is the fourth. This is the fourth in the series.
Yeah, that's 7 games ago.
Yeah.
7, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Jesus.
9 games ago.
3 Sky games, right?
There's 3 Sky games, 2 Crossbell games, and 4. Yeah, that's 9 games ago.
Damn, this is a big universe, expansive.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
That's why I called it Endgame.
It.
Because things are gonna have to go down in this. I mean, the Japanese title of it was literally called End of Saga. So.
Oh, right.
We've heard that before, though. Final Fantasy.
Have we?
Yes.
They've never made Final Fantasy End of Saga.
No, you know what I mean. Shut up.
So yeah, it's there, and I'm gonna be putting my time into it. When I'm done with all my Genshin dailies and stuff.
Jesus Christ!
I'll play that game.
They're releasing a patch for it. Maybe they'll actually add controller remapping to this one.
Nope, they didn't.
Nope. Okay. Wait for the next one. Next one. Roll it over, guys.
Like, that's the first. I saw a patch there and I was like, Control F. No remap. Okay, cool.
Maybe next time.
Cool.
That anime boy is hot, but cool.
There's a lot of anime boys now, at least. They had a lack of Shota problem in this. Now they have their Shotas. So
there you go. Yep.
All right. Well, let's try to get some news done.
Yeah, we got to
Good
do
to
that.
me.
We got lots to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's I'm supposed to do some Q things. So
Cue the news.
All right, we'll get to the news after the break.
Q it, whatever that means. All right. So let's start it off with what was probably the biggest news to drop. Cyberpunk 2077 goes gold and then immediately is delayed.
Well, okay, here's the explanation for that. Apparently, on on next gen consoles and on PC, the game is done. The game is ready to ship and being sent out. It's gone back into production for current gen consoles because I guess it's not up to snuff on the current gen stuff, and they all want to release it for everything at the same time. God forbid PC gets something first. But that was the explanation I got. Is that the
PC
game
got StarCraft first.
Yeah, no one likes to play StarCraft with a controller. That's why. That's why. But that was
look. It's the most anticipated game. They don't want to fuck.
No, they think they want to get it out
Or be accused of double dipping.
Well,
That's the PC cry all the time.
Oh, you mean for the PC in general? Because there is that the Microsoft thing they're doing, basically the cross buy.
Yeah.
When you get the Xbox One version, you get the Series X version as well.
Same thing for the PS4 and PS5.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're really worried about that.
No, I think they just want to make sure the game fucking runs.
Yeah, it runs parity for the people that might get it for the older systems that they can't.
Well, whatever it is, there has to be some financial reason. Otherwise, they would have probably released it for these systems to get their bottom line in there. Because now it's no longer eligible for Game of the Year, which is fine. I hate when Game of the Years come out at like the end of the year.
Well, it's eligible for Game of the next year, but by then everybody will have forgotten about it.
No, they won't.
No, not if it's what everybody wants it to be.
Yeah, if this game delivers, I doubt it.
Yeah.
I can't remember a single game that launched after the eligibility period of a Game of the Year winning a Game of the Year.
Really?
Well, I mean, there really isn't a game on this level.
Yeah.
The hype alone will just shoot it to the stratosphere.
Right.
Even
if
it doesn't have to be a good game, to be honest with you.
People are still talking about CD Projekt Red's last game.
Sorry, say that again, Joe?
So people are still going on about CD Projekt's last game.
Yeah.
Today.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And like a fucking mammoth work to behold.
Yeah.
So
what do you think, China Cabinet? Oh, look at this.
Damn, son. What is happening?
Where'd you get
that?
That?
A lithograph?
What happened now?
It's a book? What are you doing? The art of CD Projekt Red?
The Cyberpunk. The Cyberpunk book.
The world of Cyberpunk 20. Cyberpunk
You don't buy
2077
art books.
goes back real far.
Yeah.
It's not an art book. Well, I mean, it has art in it, but it's not an art book.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I do have art books.
Yeah.
Oh.
There was like a tabletop game. There was a card game. Yeah. Yeah. This is not something unique that CD Projekt Red created. Neither is The Witcher, for that matter.
It's true.
Yeah, they do pretty good with other people's IP.
Yeah.
Crushed it with exactly. They crushed it without an IP.
Yeah, that's fine.
I woke up and saw this news and I was like, wait, is this Chris about to get a Cyberpunk?
Oh, here it comes.
Paraphernalia as well.
Yeah.
I woke up and saw this news and I thought it was the old news. I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah. I looked at the date and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's not the right date.
Okay, all right, sure.
The internet star that they made of the person who just the day before asked if he could take days off. Please don't delay this game so I can put in my days off to play it.
He probably was on the phone with his boss and was like, hey, all right, hold on. Let me just send this tweet out. They said it's good. All right. Yeah, I want that whole week off.
Yep. Then the next morning, not even 24 hours, they're like, yeah, we're going to delay this.
Sounds like something was
apparently-
lost in translation there.
Apparently, when we found out was when the developers this game found out as well.
Oh, that's always great.
Interesting.
Yeah. When that tweet went out was when they were like, "Oh, I guess we're delaying this game for another 21 days." Great.
Yeah, just what we wanted, just to do more.
More work. Yay.
What did this guy have to go get? Let's see. What's he coming back with? Wait, you're not coming back with anything? I thought you went to get your.
Oh man, I thought you was getting Cyberpunk shit.
That's what I thought. I thought you were getting some
Fuck,
collectible
man.
or something.
Sorry. Run.
No, he's breaking that combo before it begins.
All right.
Freaking fridge gif over here.
So, all things considered, 21-day delay, not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
I mean, this game was supposed to be out already,
Yes.
according to their original projections.
Didn't the CD Projekt Red's stock take a dip because so?
I would presume so. Not that it really means anything, but And I think people are forgetting that The Witcher 3 was delayed quite a bit as well.
All the time.
I mean, people expected this to happen. This is not a surprise.
Yeah.
It's kind of a surprise that happened this close to release, which is.
I think the part where they said it's gold is the surprising part.
Yeah,
Right. That's where everybody was like, huh?
I was like, that's why I was confused when they said that it's being delayed. I was like, oh, they're talking about the previous delay. All right, cool, whatever. And I was like, wait, again? But they said it's gold. I don't.
Crazy.
Okay, I guess we're losing meaning of what that means now. Great.
Apparently.
Well, like I said, it's ready.
No, yeah.
Wasn't a
All it means
lie.
is that the final production copy is pressed and ready to go. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to ship it out the next day.
Hey, I got your shit. I just didn't send it out.
Day one patch.
I mean, hey, that's what they did with Cold Steel 4 to me.
Nothing ever comes out on time anymore.
You didn't get a nice memo though.
No, I definitely did not, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I also didn't ask
Discount.
This shit is happening way too often though. When people are like looking at people quoting the Shigeru Miyamoto thing and being like, "Shut the hell up, we're tired of hearing that."
Yeah.
Even though it's true.
Not
It's
always.
actually not even true anymore.
It's really not the patches.
Like, look at stuff like Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky, and like even freaking Star Wars Battlefront 2, and like these games are night and day.
To be while I agree with you, if you do sour that first impression, then
Yeah, a more accurate quote is first impressions are lasting.
Yeah. And that's not even true anymore either.
See, this is the thing though. Like
Rainbow Six Siege.
But it took so long for that shit to recover.
No, it didn't.
Are you sure?
Rainbow Six Siege,
dude. Rainbow Six Siege was shitty, and people were like,
"Yeah." And then they fixed it, and it's still popular.
Mm-hmm.
That's the strength of an IP, though. This is a brand new IP getting a fucking major release.
There's a lot of hype behind it, though.
Yeah,
there is. There's an insane amount of hype.
This is gonna sell like crazy. It's gonna sell like crazy.
Failing to understand that there is no way that this game is gonna fail.
No, it's not.
It doesn't matter. I'm not even trying to be funny, but like it is the quote unquote quintessential AAA. It is a AAA dream right now, and it looks incredible. And it's not gonna fail. The game could be 6 hours long, but dense as fucking. People was like, "This is the most incredible thing ever." I was like, "All right, yeah, sure." It's gonna get 9s and 10s. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It's one of those games. It's
one of those games.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
But what if it's an 8?
It won't be. Okay. In people's heart, it will be, but the discussion will not be an 8. I bet you places still going to give it Game of the Year, despite it being past the Game of the Year threshold.
Yeah, on whose metric? Yeah.
Whichever one they feel like making up that day.
It's just good news for Watch Dogs Legion. It's all.
Yeah, it really is.
The best news it could have gotten.
Unfortunately, it's really bad news for Immortals: Phoenix Rising, which got delayed into the Cyberpunk delay.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because it wasn't supposed to come out in December.
Oh,
Immortals Phoenix Rising was supposed to be out like last month.
God, games coming out in December is so weird.
Yeah.
You remember when Xenoblade 2 came out in December and I was like, that ain't coming out.
Yeah, it's like, but because they like announced it like 2 minutes beforehand. Come on, we don't believe you. And then it came out.
I feel like games coming out in November are kind of a holdover for when physical copies were still the only way to do
100%.
it. Yeah.
You know what? I have a feeling that mentality is going to be changing like a lot really soon.
You think so?
We're gonna get summer releases finally.
I think we have been getting, a couple of decent summer releases over the past like few years. So,
Theo, say that again.
No, Last of Us 2 came out during the summer.
Yeah,
the first one and the sequel.
Yeah, they both did. It's true.
So,
Cyberpunk was originally slated for June.
Yeah, I remember.
It was originally slated for like
May.
March.
I think it was on your birthday, right, Joe?
It's been so long now
that
we don't even remember the
original thing. To come out in March because Final Fantasy VII Remake and that.
Yes,
yes,
right.
Yes,
you're right.
Yes,
Chris is right. Yeah.
So I remember being like,
see,
because it was Final Fantasy, it was that Resident Evil 3 and Cyberpunk. And I was stressed out. I was like,
March was stressing everybody.
This is why mnemonic devices work. This is why mnemonic devices work. That right there. That right there. This is why mnemonic devices are a good thing.
Wait, what was the mnemonic device?
Was that?
What was the mnemonic device there?
Final Fantasy Remake. Chris used the release time for Final Fantasy Remake to remind himself of when Cyberpunk was originally supposed to come out.
See, I'm thinking of mnemonic device like some sort of like quick rhyme or something that you remember instead of it like actually being something that you just hook onto.
Well, it could take any form.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're the delay, man. Like even FF7 got delayed by like a month.
Yeah.
Oh shit, it did. Yeah. Came out around Kayla's birthday. Yeah. Wow.
I think we like totally 180'd on delays too, because there are like so many games that got rushed out over like the early part of this generation, and now it's just like let's hold it up a little bit.
I have enough things to play. I'm good.
Same. Just let it cook, man. Let it fucking cook.
Yeah.
This is you're right. Like 21 days is if it's enough that they can fix what they need to fix. This game's still gonna sell like hotcakes. It's not gonna matter.
It'll come out. It'll come out in 2000 when it's done.
And if you guys never heard of this, it's kind of famous Miyamoto quote.
There it is. So.
In an era that it no longer applies to.
Yeah.
He does it. But it was definitely true in his era. Now things can just be fixed and it's used as a crutch.
And even those games are being fixed.
Looking at you, Bethesda.
It's okay. They have time and money now, apparently.
Yeah.
Will that change anything?
No. Part of the macro heart family.
Well, they won't be using the same shit engine they've been using for the past 10 years. So.
No, I'm sure they'll use a worse engine.
Whatever's the bug, whichever one has the most bugs, they'll be like that one.
That one over there.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this out loud.
Ooh, let's hear it.
I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt if they actually have the time and money to develop a proper engine.
You don't think they definitely had the money before?
Well, they didn't. They were not allocated the money to do that, though. There was a lot of like reports about that the shareholders were just like, they were like, we need to fix our engine or we need to build a new engine, and the shareholders were like, but why?
We get it done.
Don't you know that the bugs are why people buy your games?
And it's like, I feel bad for the development team at that point, where it's like,
you know what? Nintendo's kind of in the same light.
Publicly traded companies are never about the consumer, ever.
It's literally the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
To anything that's publicly traded, because you're no longer answering to your customers.
Like
you're answering to your shareholders.
Exactly. And anything, any kind of entertainment or luxury kind of thing goes public, it immediately goes to shit.
Nintendo is just weird, and thankfully they're not publicly traded. But like they just do weird shit.
No,
Like-
what to go back to my point, they put as little effort as possible for maximum gains.
What do you mean?
Have you seen the Mario 3D All Stars? That's like they just put ROM packages out there and was like, hey, let's put scarcity in this, and it sold hotcakes. They I don't want
And all they had to do was re-release Mario games.
I hate to say that they're lazy, but they put as little effort as possible.
Like adding scarcity.
I disagree with that statement entirely, but okay.
No,
Okay.
I think Theo's right.
Like, how could you play Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey?
I'm not saying they aren't creative, and they have the shimmers of them. Like, okay, they are still incredible in the industry, but they release these games and say, hey, you're gonna buy Mario game. We know you are.
Is that the video game equivalent of an actor just doing a shitty movie for the money though? Is that what that is? Could that be?
Nintendo is the Nicolas Cage of video games.
I can't agree with that. Because this is the thing. If they were, they would be putting these games out all the time. And they don't.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage hasn't exactly put in an Oscar-worthy performance.
Every generation. All right, we're talking about games.
All right.
We're talking about games that sell.
This is what it feels like to be on the outside of this, huh?
How long did it take for fucking these Mario games to happen?
They come out every generation. What are you talking about?
I'm not
They
talking
re-release it on the
about
virtual
old
consoles.
ones. Like they could just be re-releasing shit forever and make infinite
They
money.
do.
Except they don't. They do it once in a while.
Chris, they don't release Mario games all the time and Zelda games all the time.
When was
Sell it to us all the time.
when was the last time they resold Mario Sunshine?
All right, Mario Sunshine, that's the outlier.
A few months
But Mario
ago?
64
When was the last time they resold Galaxy?
Never.
on the eShop.
Did
What are you
they ever
talking
do
about?
that?
On the Wii U eShop.
On the Wii
It
U.
was on
eShop.
that?
Okay.
Yeah, but there
Okay.
was one generation between that.
Okay.
They sell it all the Nintendo. I don't want to use the word lazy, but they put as little effort as possible.
I mean, there is some precedent there because you remember buying stuff on like the 3DS and then, like those shops were not linked. So you'd have to buy like the same old game on another platform.
And they just got that, rectified.
Did
Chris,
they?
you just finished playing. Well, kinda. You just finished playing Resident Evil 2. Look how good that is.
Oh, I know.
Look how good that like that's a
And
total.
Capcom dragged their heels on remaking too.
Yeah, they put the effort in that. Like I'm playing Mario 64, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is just Mario.
But
64.
that game already came out, so how are you going to be like? They're literally just re-releasing a game.
Yeah.
It's not like they're re-releasing a game and saying we're going to upgrade everything. They
I'm
put
not-
some upgrades in it, but they're like this is Mario 3D All Stars. We're
And
just
and that's
re-releasing
my
it.
point. They put in as little effort as possible. I'm not saying they
don't
aren't
want to
creative.
do that.
The effort was already put in.
And they put in effort when it comes to re-release. They did with HD and Zelda 3D for like the fucking 3DS version of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, where they actually went in and cleaned up the games and made them look really good.
They didn't develop that, but okay.
But they paid for it, so
Okay.
oh well. Like
Well,
there was still effort put there. Money equals effort in that regard.
I'm not judging a re-release compilation game on the same level as I'm judging Mario Odyssey or Zelda.
Yeah,
Breath of the
I
Wild.
think the equivalency is a little off here.
Like Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time, like straight up. So I'm not saying they aren't like creative or anything like that, but I think they don't go the distance when they do their things a lot of times.
I think that whenever they're making a new game, it has effort.
Yeah, I can't agree with that, man.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
because it's just it sounds crazy to me.
Well, that's what I expect out of Nintendo, is that their new games are going to be good.
Yeah.
When these old games came out, they were good, except for Sunshine.
And they
Some
fixed
people
it.
like it.
I love Sunshine.
Sunshine was a good game with a lot of problems.
Yeah,
I will agree with that.
that's a fair statement. Yeah, I agree with that.
I could not get past those problems.
I understand that completely.
There's a lot of people who do and enjoy it regardless.
I like Sunshine quite a bit.
Listen, I don't have a problem with anybody liking any game as long as it's not Mortal Kombat.
Is that a news bit? Did we just transition into a news bit?
I don't know.
No.
Can we talk about Rambo?
Oh, not fucking Rambo.
Yeah, sure.
Forget-
Rambo's a Mortal Kombat.
Rambo's a Mortal Kombat. Whatever.
Next story.
Fucking Rambo.
We got let's see here. Bloomberg of I like how all of these like big financial magazines and publications are getting these information.
That's how you can tell our hobby is fucked.
I don't think that really is it, but
Or it's better than ever.
You say so.
I don't feel like my
I
hobby
know
is fucked
so.
because I'm constantly playing games I enjoy.
Same.
Halo
Corporate
Infinite
nonsense.
director and longtime 343 executive Chris Lee has left the project. So they've lost 2 directors for Halo.
This game, like, where is this going?
By the way, this is going to be delayed again. Mark
Oh,
it down.
100%.
Yeah.
This is gonna be Microsoft's Duke Nukem forever.
Honestly,
No, it won't be that bad.
I
But
think that they would probably be better off just scrapping it at this point and just saying we'll revisit this like in a year.
I think
and, like, salvage whatever assets they need to from it at that point.
I
don't
think that it
Go
is
ahead.
tainted beyond even that.
beyond repair.
I don't think no matter how good it is, they this whole news. You guys know Craig? You guys know the meme Craig? The
I probably do.
the group from the game that they were like,
yeah, of course. Yeah.
ugly as fuck. Like he has a name now. Like there is so much bad press on this game that I just feel like at this point, no matter how good it is when it comes out, it's just gonna be like, yeah, this
salvage the assets, put it towards something different.
There's been
Maybe.
so much damage to, and like, let's face it, Halo 5 was a fucking disaster.
Yep.
That game was panned.
And 4, like people like 4, but they don't love it.
It's divided.
Yes.
Some people love it. Some people are not fans.
I beat that game and I don't remember a single thing about it.
I haven't played it. I never played it. I want to. Or I think I did, but I just didn't like.
Exactly.
I didn't play it. Jesus, I don't remember anything about it.
Halo has not really been anything since Bungie has left the reins, and
It shows. It's a shame.
if you know what they should do is they should swallow their pride and go back and ask them,
To make
"Hey,
Halo.
can we get you to do a third-party Halo game?" Or technically, for this would be a second party because I'm sure they're not going to allow it to show up on PlayStation.
Honestly, they probably were like, you know what? We don't know where to take Master Chief anymore.
I think it needs to go away. I think Halo needs to go away because
It's an FPS. When your FPS is a flagship, when your flagship title is an FPS, that's kind of hard. Like there's your Call of Duty all the time, and people still play that.
I mean, the good thing is though, Halo didn't put out a yearly game.
Yeah,
Like I think like there was a little bit where it almost felt like it, but it really, so like those games always felt big when because there was enough of a break in between them. So like when you got a new one, you're like, oh cool, I'm excited for them.
Yeah.
But like Halo 4, like what? Yeah, it's just Bungie. It's not Bungie anymore.
It's not a celebration anymore. There's no ceremony with Halo anymore. And if your marquee title isn't, celebrated in that capacity, then
it needs to not be your marquee title anymore.
Yeah, it's I blame it on the FPS genre. There's only so much you can do with that.
I don't know, man. I feel like when Doom 2016 came out, it was fucking just like over everywhere. Everybody was talking about that game.
It was like there are new things you can do with it.
Well, Doom 2016 didn't do anything new.
It just did the
It
old
just
thing.
it just did the old thing great. Yeah. Maybe that's what Halo.
true.
Maybe that's what Halo needs to do. But the thing about it is, like, competitive multiplayer FPS is flooded.
Yeah,
There hasn't been a single player FPS game in a long time, which is why Doom resonated as well as it did.
Yeah, it was like they didn't give a shit about the multiplayer. They're like,
They really didn't because that multiplayer was not good.
Oh,
and it was terrible. But like, no one cares.
Multiplayer.
so what
Did
is
it have
Halo?
Snap Map?
What was that there?
Did it have Snap Map or something like that?
I don't
We
fuck
can make your levels. Yeah, all right.
probably.
That'd be cool.
I don't know.
Level
I never
creator.
turned on the fucking multiplayer.
What can Halo do to be relevant again?
Well, they have the what is it, the Master Chief Collection that people are still playing. I mean, people still enjoy Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Those are great games.
It's sitting on
All
my
right.
wish list. The moment that's on sale,
I will
rephrase
rephrase the question. What can Halo do to move Xboxes?
It'll move Xboxes.
It just needs to be good.
They need to get Bungie work on it.
Yeah, like it needs to be good.
All right, I'll rephrase the question again.
Mm-hmm.
What can Halo do to move Xboxes over PlayStations?
At this point, I don't think
it's not possible.
I feel like PlayStation's already won the war for this generation before it even starts.
Yes.
And I don't think that even if Halo came out as super A+, even better than 1, 2, and 3, that it would do anything, because a lot of people would just be like, that's cool, but I don't need an Xbox to play it.
Mm-hmm. There's been, and like I said, there's a lot of faith shaken in that franchise.
Yeah.
Point.
So Halo
like,
is
so many
kind
people were just like, even the fucking Master Chief Collection when it came out was a mess.
It's time to abandon Halo as
the PC one was a mess as well.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's time to abandon it, but maybe put it in cryo for a little bit.
Pull it out of war.
Make us miss it. Give it the gap between Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4.
How can we miss you if you never go away?
And what can replace it? There's a lot of things that Sony has locked up, and this is why they're winning.
Microsoft just bought how many fucking studios?
Yeah.
And how many of them are going to be relevant on the day these consoles are
Doesn't
launched?
matter.
It really does.
Honestly, a lot, because when you really think about it, the Xbox is the RPG console now.
Bro,
it's not.
I don't see that. Go explain. Explain your thinking.
Huh?
Explain your thinking.
Obsidian is
on it. In Exile is on it. People buy Obsidian games, man.
Sure, but like this is the issue, is that these are Western RPGs, and the RPG market, people looking for RPGs, traditional Japanese RPGs.
No, people care about Western RPGs. Come on.
I'm not saying they don't care about it. I'm saying that you're not going to say it's a system for RPGs when there's only one type of RPG available on the system.
Right. I'm with Andre on this.
Obsidian does not make it the RPG system.
Okay.
It really doesn't.
All right.
Because you know what? Even though they have Obsidian and they have Bethesda, there are companies that will make Western RPGs that will come out on the PlayStation.
And let's assume
on the level of Obsidian, and
let's assume that Obsidian stays together. Because here's the funny thing, right? And this is not something that we really touched on. It seems like Xbox is a bit more hands-off with the development of a lot of these franchises.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll fucking see how long that lasts, man. Like, never forget Rare, man.
Yeah.
Never forget Rare. Rare got torn apart. Okay? Like, when a big company eats one of these companies, it almost never ends well, and so many of those teams end up jumping ship after a while.
Well, you're going to see a lot of that happening then, because both Sony is buying shit up too.
Well, the word that's getting out though is this doesn't happen as much with the stuff that Sony ends up paying, because that's why when Sony just pays for exclusivity, it's just that, right? They don't necessarily buy up companies. Microsoft buys the company, and that ends up causing that friction. Makes people
the same issue with EA.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's like what happened with BioWare. Like I'm not saying and the word that I'm hearing is that Microsoft is not being as aggressive with these teams and their development stuff currently. So it seems like the work relationship is good right now, but we'll fucking see how that goes when the pressure mounts for the next big thing that they need out of these teams, because they're not going to have Halo. It's
clear that Halo hasn't moved the needle for them in a long time, and will continue to not move the needle as long as Halo Infinite is infinitely in development.
They showed it at what it was, E3 2019 that they showed it at.
The most recent Halo?
Yeah.
This year.
No, I mean when they debuted it.
Oh, I think earlier than that.
I think it was earlier.
I think it was last year. No, it might be 2018.
what I saw from it, I did not think that it even looked next gen. But at that point, I didn't know what next gen really looked like.
Who
I just
does?
felt like it looked like a game that could have been released, 6 months from when they showed it. So the fact that it's got delayed a couple of times doesn't surprise me. But when you start losing directors, like, that's an issue.
That's bad.
That's really
right?
bad.
Like, you can't lose like directors, producers, like the people who have the vision of the game, and replace them, and then like it's not going to continue the same way, because a new person's going to come in, they're going to have a new perspective.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a unified view of what needs to happen for this product.
Like, you got to think about what caused the director to leave. Was there something getting in the way of the vision? Like either corporate intervention or development problems. Which one of these caused it?
Regardless of what it is, it's not good.
No.
Yeah.
No. Because that means the vision isn't working. If the vision was working, the director would not leave.
Yeah, it's. Oh, trust me, there's nothing about this news that's like it sounds all really bad.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Chris Lee, he has not been fired. He didn't leave the company. He's still with Microsoft.
Right.
So it's just, for whatever reason, he's just not going to be on the project.
So maybe he did he say he left or was removed?
So that's the ambiguous thing, right? They're never going to confirm, because he's still with the company.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be like, we've removed him, because that undercuts him as a professional, and he's not going to say they removed me, because that's just,
You want to stay there?
He clearly wants to stay.
He said he was off the project.
Yeah, he said he stepped back from it and is looking for future opportunities.
Okay.
And I'm just like,
well, could that mean that it's not needed anymore? That they have the direction and now it's just development time?
That'd be optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very glass half full approach.
Probably not, since there was no follow up to this. It's probably not good news.
No, they're going to be on their third director and their second producer for this game. So
it's going to be kind of a mess. Singular vision, and then
Hey, this could they could turn it around like Final Fantasy 12.
They could, because that happened in Final Fantasy 12. I thought that game was going to be garbage trash.
Yeah, I was terrified of that game being bad.
And especially following up 10 and the fact that 11 was an online game, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to care about this series. And
then they put out one of the best ones.
Then I still like it. I still like the series, even through all of that 13 nonsense.
Hey, some of that 13 nonsense is pretty good.
I liked a lot of that 13 nonsense.
Yeah. Everything that has nothing to do with the story for that, I like.
Yeah.
Why would you play a JRPG for?
Why would you?
To kill God, obviously.
Funny, but
that's true.
There are JRPGs that I don't care about the story, and I play for the gameplay.
True.
Because some of them have actually good gameplay. Like Grandia has a brain dead, dumb story all the time, but the gameplay is really good.
Yeah. This guy made a whole series off of it.
This guy literally parodies itself at this point
Yeah.
about how bad its story is, to the point where the story is actually good because it's bad. And I'm not somebody who goes to it's so bad it's good well. But this guy does it.
I almost booted up 5 the other day.
Yeah, well, sometimes you gotta hit. Did you see the? First of all, I don't think we ever talked about this. Disgaea 6 is going to be like a Switch exclusive.
Yep. And crazy.
And the ridiculous, like, now the level cap is 99,000,
and you could get into not billions. I forgot what the fucking number they said.
They were just like, quintillions, and I'm just like, oh, that's a new letter.
Yeah.
Quintillions. That's 2 steps up from trillions, by the way.
Insanity.
They showed somebody getting hit, and the damage number literally could not fit on the screen.
Oh, so good.
And I was just like, that's what I want.
Dude, Disgaea knows what it's about. It knows what it's about.
That's what
I have never seen a game tailor-made for me that I just do not enjoy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. God.
I love Disgaea. I'm always terrified to play it because
Okay. Let's see here. Next piece of news. Final Fantasy 16 has dropped its teaser site with little bit of information about the characters and the world. We're seeing this art for the first time.
This world that's not Evilise, by the way.
It's
Yeah,
definitely not
but it's
Evilise.
It
like
just
a
looks like
billion kingdoms that
Definitely.
are warring with each other.
Oh, there's
The art looks
there's
like
a
a cross
war
between-
go on. No, really.
Yeah, always a war. The art looks like a cross between Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy XII. So it's just like,
oh, it's beautiful.
which universe is this in? Because it's gonna be in a universe.
Are you sure?
I don't feel like this is on its own.
I think
universe.
it's a fake out, man. I think it's a fake out. I think it's.
I don't believe this is on any sort of established Final Fantasy universe.
Okay, can I seriously like? I was actually while we were talking before, I was checking out the website. This shit is so cool. The art design for this game looks unbelievable. I'm so fucking ready.
They are harping on this phrase. The legacy of the crystal has shaped our history for long enough. They have been just hammering that phrase down, and I'm like, all right, what do you?
What do you think it's a sequel to Final Fantasy 1?
Nah, I just think this is some meta shit. It's like, all right, yeah, this we started some new shit over here, man.
Yeah,
That
why not,
crystal
man?
shit, fuck it.
Like, come on, Final Fantasy. When's the last time Final Fantasy was about crystals?
9.
All the
15?
time? I to say all the time.
Like they skipped crystals in like 6, 7, and 8, and I guess 10. 10 didn't really have crystal.
Didn't have crystals.
Crystal theme. But
did 13 have crystals? 13, I remember a lot of crystals in 13.
Everything is made of crystals.
Yeah, there's like
you
everything
turn
is
into a
everything.
crystal.
Everything is crystalline, but like
Yeah.
there's crystals.
Not
I
the
mean,
same
like you
crystal.
turn into crystal if you fail.
Sure. Okay.
Like,
Yeah. They're like, yo, man, fuck that crystal shit. We telling
14 is definitely about crystals, Joe.
Okay.
14 is definitely about crystals.
They are job crystals.
That's the one that you play.
Okay.
The whole reason shit goes down in 15 is because the crystal
big
defense
ass
system
crystal.
fails.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
it did fail.
right. Yeah.
It did its job,
Yeah.
but not
yeah,
for the
I gotta play eventually.
job for.
right.
Yeah.
Anyway, it introduced us to 6 kingdoms in the world and 3 characters, and the art on the site looks great. And
Some of the characters sometimes don't have noses, which I'm like, oh, this is just definitely Evilise. Okay.
very, very tacticsy.
Yeah, it's very tactics.
The art is, like I said, it looks like a cross between the Final Fantasy Tactics and 14.
This shit looks so fucking
was-
cool.
it
I'm
was-
so excited.
Probably intentionally looking like 14, by the way.
Yes.
I haven't seen shit of this game, and I'm excited.
I'm just happy that Nomura is not doing the art.
Yeah.
nowhere
Um,
near it.
Do you guys do this thing when you find out the name of the main protagonist of a Final Fantasy? You just say it over and over again.
That's no.
Okay, because I gotta like because
Fucking weirdo.
it's so foreign. You're like, oh, this is the new main character, Clive Rosefield. Clive Rosefield. All right.
Mhm.
I don't know, because like at a certain point, it's just gonna become like second nature. It's like, yeah, Clive Rosefield. Yeah, that's that dude.
Oh, by the way, like 2 really regular names in Joshua and Jill
Yeah, right.
for characters. Like
Jill
that's
is a
not-
very yeah.
Joe
I-
Ware.
Joshua, not so much. I'm like, yeah, I could see a Joshua being a
Biblical name.
yeah,
It's very
Jill-
biblical. It's like one of the most biblical names.
Yeah. Biblical. It's a biblical last name.
Well, she has a generic first name, but kind of a gnarly last name.
Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick. I'm like, yeah, all right.
It sounds just off enough.
It's not Jill Smith.
Let's see. I'm taking a look at this. Oh god, this art is so good.
Yeah, I'm just staring at these character designs. I'm like, fuck, this looks so cool.
Oh, I can't
There's
wait. I can't
a
wait.
map.
Skip.
Nice little map there. Yeah. Site's
Time-
good.
Be so good.
Site's good. Anyway, obviously there's no big details because this game's coming out in 2026. So
I have faith in Square this time. I think this game is going to come out a lot sooner than we think.
I hope
Okay,
so
if you say
because
so.
I need to have that reason to immediately get the PlayStation 5. Because as soon as this has a date, I will make sure that PlayStation 5 is in my possession.
Yeah.
Like,
so bold predictions for the release date.
If I miss day one, I'm fine.
Oh man. No later than 2022. If not for the state of the world next year.
I mean, like
late next year.
Yeah, that's true. 2020, like I said, late 2021.
Didn't get a word of that, Chris.
Yeah, sorry, you cut out.
Yeah, I was gonna say late 2021 would be incredible, but I don't think it's gonna make. I don't think that's realistic.
The way they. Sorry, go on, Drew.
I don't feel like they have like a real vision on it yet.
Yeah.
Really? So from the interviews I've been reading, it sounds like they have been like head in the sand with this game for a while, like at least 3 to 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. That's why that's why they were so focused on like, okay, we don't want to polish shit up. We are just trying to show you exactly our vision on this game and send it out there.
That's good. Because now they have it out there.
Yeah.
See,
so is the confidence in it.
What we've seen for the battle system is not what it's gonna be.
Okay.
I mean, that could change, sure.
I feel like it's way too actiony to be a Final Fantasy JRPG.
Have you played 15?
Yeah, right?
Final Fantasy 15's battle system has no action.
Huh?
Okay, did we not play FF7 remake? Because that shit was essentially an action game.
Yes. However, that's also a really special case because you know what the word remake means.
Yes.
No, I don't think that the Final Fantasy 15 battle system has action to it because like you can move around, but you literally can just hold the square button and you will auto attack everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you want to play that way, sure.
Then like your only real action choices are warp striking, but I mean, like, sure, you can play the game without wait mode on, but you're actually just making yourself weaker. So
I hate that wait mode in that game is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
It's the way that you're supposed to play the game.
It's not, but sure.
Yeah, that was not conveyed at all.
They didn't.
Oh, it wasn't.
They did not
design skill trees for the way you're not supposed to play the game.
If you want to play it that way,
I mean, they didn't need to make skill trees for it. Like wait mode could have existed with no skill trees.
I guess.
But wait mode has its own skill tree.
Right. So that's clearly the intended way to play it.
I disagree with that completely.
Why? Okay. Why would you have a skill tree for something that the game does not intend you to use?
Because you have to turn it on in the options.
Yes. Also, if the game intended you to use it like that, the entire skill trees would be about wait mode.
There's like no tutorial in that game that says like, hey, turn on wait mode.
Yeah. There is the existence of a skill tree for wait mode tells you that you are supposed to use wait mode. There's the intended way.
It tells you that there's
because they don't need to put wait mode in the game. Like they can put wait mode in the game. They don't need to make a skill tree for it.
No, that tells you it's a choice.
Yeah,
that's all.
Not the right way to play the way you play that game.
Okay,
all right.
That makes no sense to me because these are the game gives you a limited amount of resources to use, and you can use it on wait mode.
I can use all the other characters too if I want to, but
but like again, if it didn't need to exist as an option, I know it's an option, you could turn it on and off. But like I'm saying that the way that the game was intended to be played was with wait mode on. That's why it has a skill tree, and if you don't want it on, you can turn it off.
I can see that being your preference, but to say the intended way, if it's an option, no, that's not.
I'm with Theo on this one.
That's not right, man.
Sure, because there's a lot of options that are the intended way. Like difficulty is an option that you can choose, but there is an intended difficulty that the game should be played at.
Like Rage 4 said they developed the game for hard mode.
but you don't start that game out. All right, forget it.
Yeah, and also it doesn't.
Well, he said it.
It doesn't. It
I'm
doesn't.
not talking about Streets of Rage, but I was talking about
It doesn't. It doesn't convey like this game is meant to be optimized using the wait mode functionality, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. They don't tell you that. They start you off in the active mode, and then they never say, "Hey, you should try this."
Ever. The only reason
One
I turned on
time,
wait mode is
maybe.
because you mentioned it, and I was like, all right, let me try this wait mode shit. I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. It is a good mode. It is a good optional mode.
I never actually used it, not once.
Because you don't need to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like I liked the way the game flowed, and I wanted the game to be better the way it flowed. Not whatever.
I like the Libra option with wait mode. That's the only reason I really used it.
Okay.
Well, anyway, whatever. Let's see here. Nintendo dropped a direct on us, as they like to do with telling anybody.
I love it.
Yeah.
They do
I
that.
never get mad at
It's
it.
not a surprise anymore. It's just this is how they do it.
No,
It is a surprise. What are you talking about?
It's not surprising that they do this. Is what I mean.
There you go.
Okay, yeah.
That's the wording.
Sheesh.
What? Oh, Mr. Penantic's getting pissy? Get the
No,
fuck out
I
of
was like all night. Like every one of us has had our throat jump down at some point.
Spooky Halloween.
Please jumped after me.
What? Me and you.
Yeah, you and Theo went at it earlier.
Oh, we did. Man, everyone's cranky. Maybe everyone's cranky.
I'm not cranky. I love talking about games with you guys.
Yeah. I love getting into arguments. I'm fine with it.
I was happy to be on the outside of that one.
Yeah. Anyway, what happens in this direct? Bravely,
Default 2.
because whatever they called
The third game in the Bravely Default series.
it. Yeah, there you go.
Bravely Default 2.
Whatever the word is.
Not to be confused with Bravely Second.
They as they did with God, I'm blanking on that game they did before. The stylized one. The Bravely team
Second.
did they didn't do Octopath, right?
No.
Square?
Shit. Yeah, sorry. They took the fan feedback from the first demo and they were like, yeah, we changed a bunch of shit with the upcoming release.
That's pretty cool.
And they announced the release date.
They did that with Bravely. Not Bravely. Wow. Octopath.
Yeah, that's why I mixed the two up. And they released the release date, which is February 26th, the day after my birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Theo.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you not care about Bravely?
Oh no,
Default?
I'm it's an RPG. I'm
Yeah,
getting
so
it.
it's a fucking day one purchase.
Yeah, I'm good.
Acting
I'm
like
just waiting for the special edition so I can just buy it.
It's an RPG, by the way, that you would never see on the RPG system.
Wait, what?
They also showed Hyrule Warriors. They showed cloud versions of Control and Hitman 3, which
So
What's up with that?
I want to talk about the cloud version of Control for a minute. I downloaded it and played it for a bit, and I have not tried Stadia or I did try the Xbox xCloud thing. This is the best iteration of cloud gaming I've ever tried before.
Really?
It played really fucking well.
When I was watching it run, I was like, is this really running on a Switch?
It's
It
kind
looks
of
incredible.
like granted, there are a lot of caveats with this. I have to be like in the same room with my router. I can't walk around or anything like that. Because when you like start to move away, it hitches a little bit. But like right then and there, it ran incredibly well. And it looked like the PlayStation 4 version of the game.
Dude, like
And I'm
visual, I remember seeing the visuals. I'm like, there's no.
I'm like, what is this?
I didn't believe that for a second.
I am not
Crazy.
the market for this because I wouldn't pay $40 to play a game that I am
Don't
streaming.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the
I
problem.
think that's
It's the
crazy.
problem with cloud gaming that I have.
So
It's-
the streaming aspect doesn't really bother me because all my consoles are connected anyway. So in Steam, like if I have no internet service, I don't think I could play my games on Steam. if
Sure,
I'm
you
not
can.
mistaken.
You can.
You have to just you can't have no internet service whatsoever. But if you are able to connect to the internet every once in a while, your Steam library is available.
Yes.
But so like I'm always connected, so that isn't the bother for me. It's just I would want to play that, like, you know, if I'm at work with a hotspot or something like that, and that's probably not going to work out too well.
No, it is not.
So, but I think if you are a Nintendo only, if like the Switch is your only console, I can see this being pretty
And
cool.
being an option.
My concern now is I don't want them to use this as a crutch. Instead of we getting things like the Switcher, they just say like, okay, let's just fucking stream. Let's not do any work. Let's just stream this shit.
It's cloud. Yeah, cloud gaming is. You remember how Nintendo? You said Nintendo was lazy.
Mm-hmm.
Cloud gaming is the path to that for other companies.
Yeah, and that's my worry with it.
It's a significant problem with the idea of cloud gaming, because it is for publishers it's a dream, and for consumers there's some benefits, but it's a nightmare.
It's a potential nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm not excited about cloud gaming.
No,
like not at all. Not even a little.
Like I said, I'm not the intended audience for this, but I saw something with the Control demo that I played. I was like, this is really neat. This is really, really neat.
we can't deliver. There's no way, I don't think in our lifetime we'll be able to deliver a seamless process for this to be even remotely viable. So
in our lifetime, yeah, absolutely.
Yes, when we're ancient, and our internet finally
technology is constantly getting better and better.
You know what the problem is the technology is getting better, but the infrastructure isn't.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And you have to convince big giant cities where there are major parts of the population to invest in their infrastructure.
Right. And at a time where everybody is like looking at cloud gaming as a replacement for putting stuff out there with effort, infrastructure's not changing.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Too many things in the way.
Right.
Red tape, what they call it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing with this direct is No More Heroes 1 and 2 with the new trailer for No More Heroes 3.
I mean, you don't have to play that with Wiimote controls anymore now, right?
No, but it actually includes it as well.
You can use it though if you want.
How? The Joy-Con.
The Joy-Cons act like Wiimotes, man.
Yeah. So why aren't there more whatever. Let's not get into that conversation.
There
are. The port is actually, I bought it right away because it had like a 10% sale. And I was like, I like No More Heroes. Let me buy this shit.
I've never played No More Heroes 1 or 2. So I
won't even get into that here.
I'm not going to ask you to sell it on me. I might later.
But I downloaded it and I was like, this is probably just going to be like a shitty port or a no effort port. So that game is now
there he goes.
Twice. That game is now 60 frames per second, widescreen, has motion controls and button input. So they put work in this port.
That's good.
The original one was on the fucking Wii on SD 480. Like this incredible port job they did with this thing. And No More Heroes is still really fun. It's dumb. It's dumb.
Look, it looks like it's so dumb.
What I will say, so there are 3 current No More Heroes games, not counting No More Heroes 3. There's
there's Return of Travis Touchdown and 1 and 2.
There's No More Heroes. Okay, some heroes, and fuck it, here's all your heroes.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But No More Heroes 1, No More Heroes 2, and Travis Strikes Again. I know this is gonna be a weird thing to compliment the game on, but the story and the character arc that Travis goes throughout these 3 games is actually incredible. Yeah, yeah.
Look, they're cheap, so I'll probably pick them.
Yeah, honestly, they're not incredible character action games. They're
no, I know they're not.
What it is.
I know what they are. I'm aware.
You're there for the pseudo crazy.
Yeah. I can appreciate that nonsense.
Yeah. So
I like me some nonsense. So
The second one plays a lot better, but isn't as crazy because Suda wasn't the director for that one. But it's still weird.
Hey man, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So yeah, they ended the direct with the most important thing.
Didn't they end the direct with Hyrule Warriors?
Hyrule Warriors, actually, but
I said what I
said.
Okay.
You guys took it another way. I said what I said.
Cool.
Anybody played this demo yet?
I've played the demo. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. The original Hyrule Warriors
is more subdued than the previous Hyrule Warriors. Like the other one was all about like butt rock and trying to get as much of Final Fantasy Zelda characters in it as possible. This one is like, no, we're telling a prequel to Breath of the Wild. Like we're trying to be as serious as possible right now.
I'm so excited. I really am.
Which means you're gonna lose at the end.
Yeah, you do.
Or in the end, the character you control is Ganon. And that way you don't lose.
That'd
be good.
Would be incredible.
They introduced something in that demo that I wasn't too pleased with. I'll talk with you guys off air about that. I don't want to spoil it in case anybody doesn't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see here then. Let's close it out with the AMD reveals of their
yes,
next gen cards.
I've been looking forward to this because, man, NVidia messed up.
Yep,
they messed up.
Well, we don't know if AMD messed up.
Yeah, we don't know if AMD messed up, but like,
we'll see.
They're already in good position to just completely swoop. Yeah, just take over for Intel and NVIDIA.
Yep.
These cards look pretty good too.
Yeah, they are on paper. Like I stress this because NVIDIA AMD drivers are sometimes a little wonky.
Yeah.
But on paper, these cards are just incredible.
And cheaper.
For what you get.
Be right back.
Across the board, yeah, no problem. Across the board, this is the most impressive thing for me. Across the board is 16 gigs VRAM, and that is huge.
Yeah,
especially coming with the next gen games. That's gonna add up to a lot.
Well,
I thought the $400 one didn't have 16.
Across the board is 16 gigs.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Go on, Joe. Sorry.
There are AMD cards in the new consoles. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So AMD is killing it right now. Imagine that.
They've been doing pretty good on the GPU front for
yeah, but they've been doing okay. But NVIDIA has been crushing.
Sorry, the processor.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
they've been doing good on the processor for a while.
GPUs
they've been just like not at all.
Well, this is the start of it now. So maybe like with the failure to launch that the 3000 series had.
Mm-hmm.
These like I don't know when these cards are being released because I don't remember seeing a release date there.
November 18th is the earliest, and December 10th, if I'm not mistaken.
No, so you can go to Micro Center and buy your copy of Cyberpunk and take home a video card the same day. That's why they delayed it for AMD, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
I'm sorry, Dre. You are correct. I didn't even know about the 5700. The 5700 XT. Sorry, that's the previous. That's this generation's model.
Oh, that's this generation. Okay.
Yeah, that's this generation.
These are the 6800, 6800 RX,
XT.
XT. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
The prescription, and the 6900. I think is the
yeah.
That's the $1,000 card, right?
$1,000 card that is on paper. I just keep saying this. Looks like it is gonna outclass the 3900.
The only thing that
3090. Sorry.
The only thing that's keeping me from really committing to one of these cards is the support for ray tracing, because I love the way lighting looks in games sometimes, and I want it to look as good as possible.
I was watching a few early builds of the new Watch Dogs game, with ray tracing on and off.
Yeah,
ray tracing looks really
looks really, really good.
That is I think that is the paradigm shift for like graphics right now.
100%.
I'm like, holy crap! I can see reflections in mirrors now.
Well,
wow,
yeah,
wow. That's really good. For me, I think the thing that's holding me back is the DLSS support that NVIDIA kind of has on lock. And if you guys don't really know what that is, that's basically you tricking your GPU or your rig into thinking that if you're playing 4K, you're actually playing at like a lower resolution, like 1080 or even 720 a lot of times. So you don't get that resource hog that you would at a 4K display. The issue with that is not every game supports that right now, and not every game will support that. So that's kind of why I'm not really too keen on it. Like if it was a system where every game supported it, I'm like, okay, well, I might have to get an NVIDIA card. But if I can get the frames from the AMD card that I would otherwise if I had the DLSS, I might just get this AMD card.
It's certainly the route to go if you're looking for a budget build.
Yeah. Well, as close as almost $600 is a budget build.
Well, all right, that's fair. That's fair.
But I mean, relatively, like these cards are very good for what you get for the price.
Are they use how power efficient are they?
On paper, they said is more power efficient than the 30 series,
which is pretty huge because that 30 series is like didn't they say you needed like an 850 minimum?
I saw 750.
Yes, I believe. Because I've been seeing a lot of 750s powering these things. So
yeah, so
750 is pretty much the standard for PSU anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You should not have lower than that if you have a gaming rig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean these cards look really good, and they unveiled Big Navi finally.
Does it yell at you in a deep voice to listen?
Big Navi, hey, listen, my video card. It will all depend on if you can actually buy these things at the end of the day.
You know, if nothing else, it's good that they're competitive in the video card market because NVIDIA was just
gouging.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah. It was disgusting last.
They had too much free reign for too long, and
26 was disgusting.
Yeah. Yep.
There was numerous times where I was looking to buy one. Like I see a 2060, and I'm like, this isn't the jump that I need when I have a perfectly good card.
If you you can tell that from the performance upgrade that the 30 series had over the 20 series, that they really just
they reined it in.
They reined it in, or they overcharged people for the 20 series.
Yeah, because they knew they could.
Yeah.
That's lazy.
That's lazy.
Not what Nintendo
does. That's financially lazy. That's some shareholder shit right there. See, whatever. Yeah. Oh, I'm not really sure which video card I'm gonna get. Right now, I don't have a choice because there's no 30 series to buy, and the AMD cards are just not out yet. So the worst thing that can happen right now is that my video card would die.
Stop putting that in the air.
Why, man. Dude? Why are you saying that out loud? Why would you ever put that out?
You put that in the chat, and I was like,
Hey, Joe, you're the one who earlier said, that you thought you knocked down Chris's figure, and then what happened?
You knocked it down.
See, he's fine. Blade did not fall over this time.
The blade did not fall over.
My issue is, would this be a smart thing to do to get if you have Intel processor?
Why not?
I'm asking the question.
Oh, I don't see people are gonna have Intel builds. So just in my mind, a AMD processor and AMD GPU just works together. To me. It's like peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I don't know if that's the case, but it just works.
No, that's the CPU and the GPU. So that's the case. The case is the thing that you put them inside of.
What I'm saying, right, is since not a lot of people can get a 3000 series right now, and their only available next gen video card would be these, because I fully believe that these will be readily available without any issues.
You think so?
Yes, I don't think that they're going to sell out to the way that they did.
Oh, I don't know, man.
NVIDIA, because I just don't think that the faith is there for AMD video cards.
Yeah, and that there's question marks about, ray tracing is a thing. Ray tracing is a thing people want. It's turned into the meme because, it's the thing. It's kind of the thing at the forefront of the differences between these cards. Because, like Theo said, on paper, they're easily competitive, in some ways better. But the ray tracing thing there's not the same. There's not.
Yeah. Which one will make your game look better?
Yeah. Obviously, the one with ray tracing. Because frankly, it does. It's incredible. It looks great.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really fucking good. NVIDIA's software suite is actually better also.
Yes. That's the other one.
I like
although they are getting a little bit intrusive.
I like Radeon's stuff, especially recently with the last few patches. They're really good, but it's still behind what NVIDIA has. Like some of the stuff NVIDIA unveiled with the 30 series is really fucking cool. So
I have a while to decide.
I have up until these are in stock.
Yeah.
To decide.
Yeah.
Damn, really?
And honestly, there's been so many changes to PC construction since the last time I had a build that I'm probably gonna have to learn some things from scratch again. Like I've never put it in M2, although that's probably not
honestly,
hard.
That is the only thing, and it's not hard.
Did you guys see that the PlayStation 5 has an M2 slot
for
its expandable memory?
Yeah,
did see that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
it's a little nuts.
And Xbox still has proprietary hard drives and memory sticks.
Come on, and nobody is talking about that. People are going to be talking about that once people realize that shit's a problem, and the next Call of Duty game doesn't fit on your SSD. Yeah, people are going to wake up to that. There's going to be a rude awakening.
I mean, they're going to talk about it and then still buy it.
Yeah.
Remember the 360 had proprietary hard drive also.
That's true.
And they were really expensive until they stopped being expensive.
Oh yeah.
So they were like, "Oh yeah, this was $100. We're just going to sell it for $20 now." Yeah, it's fine.
So people are going to talk about it until they're just not.
Yeah.
Are they going to talk about it and be like, "I hate that I had to buy this"?
Listen, I hate proprietary memory.
I don't like proprietary anything.
Anything, sure. Mm-hmm. I know that's your stance on life. Some things do need to be exclusive to justify its existence.
Well, okay, I agree. I'm not expecting my Legos to fit onto my marbles. Okay, so I understand that.
Connecting cables, please don't make those proprietary. That's obnoxious. Yeah.
That's
everything should be freaking USB-C.
God bless USB-C.
Yes.
We're not seriously. I mean, I know we're gonna get better than that, but it's gonna take a while before we get better than that, right?
If they find a way to make it snugger, it'll be better.
What's gonna make it better?
When everything
has USB-C, the small end of it that can go in either way.
Mm-hmm.
When everything has that for both connectors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
When we finally fucking phase out
your computer having the big end that you still can put in wrong.
Every time.
Every 3 times. Because you put it in the wrong way, and then you flip it and you put it in the wrong way, and then you flip it and you put it in the right way.
Every time.
Oh my god.
It's like my favorite joke in Spider-Verse. Peter's like plugging this, like I always do this wrong. Like every time I'm like, oh my god.
I don't know why it works like that.
And you pick the right one and it still doesn't fit in. Like, I hate USB.
And what's worse, I look at it before I put it. I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Damn, it's wrong. How'd that happen?
Doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually might look into this 6800 XT card.
You're gonna get it anyway. You're an AMD guy.
Yeah.
You just like to be different.
No, I like my money to stretch.
This is why you should get a PlayStation or an Xbox, because you'll have ray tracing on those. You won't have it on your computer.
Nah, I'll have it on my computer
Eventually.
Okay.
I'd rather more frames, to be honest with you.
It is true.
If
frame
I
rate
had to
is
pick between,
frame rate and ray tracing is frame rate every time.
All right, can I ask a legitimate question here?
Sure.
There's not a single game that these things are going to play at 60 plus frames per second.
I want 144.
Yeah, we need 144.
Why does it matter?
What?
When you play a game past 60 frames, why does it matter?
You have to see it to understand.
You feel the difference. I like
it's,
legitimately.
It's about the game it's about the game in motion. It's about things in motion.
You feel the difference. Like 120 plus. All right, we're not really is diminishing returns, but like you legitimately feel the difference.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You have to see it.
I've seen it. I don't understand why it matters.
It feels good.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I don't see it like to me. It's like it means nothing to me.
Well, it means nothing to you until you see 60 versus 30.
No, I know 60 versus 30. That I'm not talking.
Okay.
I'm talking about beyond 60. Why does that matter?
Well, you have to see beyond 60 in order.
I just said that.
Okay.
I mean, 60 is fine. Like a lock 60 is fine too.
I just see a game flying by, and it doesn't like. It makes no difference to me. Okay. I don't understand it.
Then that's fine. Then you can get the ray tracing card, Chris.
I will be. Don't worry.
You got a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already got one. I'll have one soon.
Yeah, I can't explain it. It's just gameplay is king at the end of the day, but it does feel good.
I don't think that it really affects much on the gameplay end, but like I do notice it.
I noticed it.
I noticed it from like back in the WoW days.
That's my point. Like, is that I don't see how it affects the game in any way, shape, or form.
Well, okay. I've been playing Pillars of Eternity 2, and after a couple of hours in that game just starts chugging. It's just very poorly optimized, and I don't get higher than 30. I don't get higher than 30 frames per second. It's not my rig. It's the game's optimization. And I will often save and quit and reload back in, even though it takes freaking forever, just so the game runs smoothly again, because otherwise it just feels terrible.
Oh, it's a leak in there.
But like, you're going from 60 to 30.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
which is that's a noticeable difference on gameplay. From going from 60 to 120, you can notice it. Like I noticed that when I used to play WoW and I had like my fraps counter up in the corner, like I could notice the difference between 160 frames per second because WoW was not very demanding.
Well, back then
60, but like it doesn't make a gameplay difference.
Well,
that's my point.
But when you were playing WoW, did you have a monitor that supported 140? Was it just not capped?
It wasn't capped. I did not have a monitor that supported my monitors back then. Obviously, during the WoW days were 60 hertz.
Then you were just seeing really fast 60.
That's the issue, right?
Well, that if you don't have the monitor that supports it, you're not going to see it.
So, like, I'm not saying there isn't a difference. I'm saying then, what is the difference to the random person between 144 frames per second and really fast 60?
The average person, nothing. But
so like
we're not the average people.
Okay, so I will never give a shit, is what you're telling me.
That's not necessarily true. Like what Dre was describing when he was playing WoW, that's not 144 FPS. That's just the game's potential frame rate. If your monitor or your display does not support frame rates higher than 60, that's not going to show higher than 60. It just doesn't.
Thing is, it was noticeable when it dipped down from that number.
I played a hack and slash game years ago. Well, not years ago, maybe like 2 years ago. I think Killer is Dead was the name of it, and I went through most of that game without my new monitor at 60 frames per second. But then when I got my 144 hertz monitor, I played at 120 frames per second, and it is small, but you do feel the difference in the gameplay.
Okay. I'm curious. I'm not trying to criticize. This is a genuine.
No. I get it. And listen, I don't have Joe's issue where I could play something at 30 frames. I could play something at 30 frames that's still drops down to like sometimes in 20. I play the Switch all the time, and
I don't have the like. I understand, but especially if it's a game that you're used to playing a certain way, and then all of a sudden playing at a different frame rate, totally makes sense to me. Completely understand that. But like if it's a game that started at 30 and stayed at 30, oh, that's just what this game is. And I don't have that like, oh, I mean, do I wish it'd run at 60? Probably, but like,
and honestly, there's sometimes where I'll bump a game down to 30 because some games have bad 60. Yeah, frame pacing and shit that's just like, okay, yeah, this 60 does not feel smooth. I'd rather just bump it down to 30.
Another instance of poor optimization for things.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
also like when they remake old games and they just do weird things at 60 frames per second, like every Source Engine game.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Instead of running this game at 60, we'll run it at 240 frames per second, and then you can like jump off the map.
Oh god.
Well, that's just the game going fast.
Anyway, I mean, I have two 144 hertz monitors, so I clearly care about my frame rate too.
Yeah.
But I also would like my games to look as good as possible.
Of course.
So if I had the chance, I will take my 60 frames per second with ray tracing over 144 frames per second without it.
Happy media, man.
Yeah. I think I'm with Ray. I think I'm with Ray on this one. I think I'd rather have ray tracing with 60.
Yeah, I don't necessarily feel the need for higher,
excessive frames.
100. I've yet to find, like, I run Diablo at 144 frames per second because it's Diablo. If it was at 60, I don't care. It's still Diablo. It's not going to change the gameplay. Like,
I care about below 60. 60.
If it's like, when I was playing The Division, I was able to get it to 100 and something frames per second pretty easily, but then I had to like change options because I started having those computer issues. And at first I thought it might have been me pushing The Division on a little bit too much.
Mm-hmm.
So then I like bumped down some of the graphics, and I was just like, this looks like butt now. And it's running at a lower frame rate. So I was like really annoyed, but it was still over 60. So then I was just like, I don't really need to be annoyed about this.
Chris, whatever you do, never turn on anything that frame counts your game. It'll make you insane.
I don't have it in, like, unless I notice it's running.
Yeah, if you notice it, that's different. But if you have like a number in the top and it like goes to 58, nah, man.
I'll likely never care.
Okay. I keep it on, but like at this point, I'm just like, it is what it is.
The genre, because I mean, my main genre is still and fighting game 60.
Yeah,
and that's it. And they should never be beyond that.
That's because fighting games have mechanics toward
tied
into the frames per second.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the chances of me getting shit are slim to none on this.
You care the most about frames.
Yeah.
True. I like it. Like,
you care about that frame data.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like this guy down here too. Like, this is like one of the reasons why he's so gung ho about frame rate all the time. It's because he's a fighter. He likes fighting games. He needs his frame rate.
Yeah, my frame rate. Well, fighting games are not exactly hard on frame rates, so I don't have to worry about that.
No.
But like it's ingrained in you because that's like your main genre.
Yeah,
historically has been your main genre. Like it's just part of your being.
We exist at 60 frames per second.
It's true. I really can't play anything competitive at 30. Like
I couldn't even imagine playing a fighting game at 30. Drive me nuts.
No.
Holy shit!
Street Fighter Alpha 3 on the PlayStation.
Yeah,
I
did.
And I go back and play that version, and it's bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
I was a stupid kid.
A lot of the old Capcom games, they weren't really 60. Like Street Fighter 3 was the first real 60 frames per second.
It's true.
All the ones before it were actually 30 frames per second, and each frame would be displayed twice.
That's true.
To make 60.
Which is hilarious.
Like
true.
even in the arcade version of Alpha 3, it was still really just fake 60 frames per second.
It's genuinely hilarious.
Eh,
Well, back
what you
then,
gonna do?
for me, frame data was just a Tekken thing. They didn't care. Like I said, it was a stupid kid.
Well, everybody was pretty much stupid back then.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have the Bible to tell us frame data was something that we needed to care about.
Right. It was that. That was the thing.
It was, oh, thank you, Third Strike. That's this is why I always get caught when people do this attack and then follow it up.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I should be able to counter, but I can't.
And I can't.
Thank
Not
you.
paying attention to the frame data.
Thank you, Bible, for explaining this to me.
Oh, so good.
Well, that was some meaty news
Yeah,
there.
It was. We promised it.
we
We got
did.
into a lot of
Just,
arguments too. It was good.
We yelled.
Yeah.
I got a I got a Discord message saying I'm getting loud and stirring the child. I'm waking him up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. You don't want to do that.
No.
So it's time to go. Thank you for joining us.
Happy Halloween. Well, it's over
Happy
now.
Halloween.
Guys,
definitely
It's over
by the
now
time
for
you watch
us, and
this.
it'll be over for everybody even more.
hope you guys were safe.
Turn your clocks back an hour.
That's not yet either.
By the time
That's tomorrow.
by the time this episode comes out,
I
If you
hope
haven't.
they already have the clocks back by the
Yes.
time this episode comes out.
well,
Because
maybe
then
they'll
we're
have
probably late for work too.
it. All right.
Work.
Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, whatever Google Play is now. Still don't know. Got to update our RSS for one of them or something. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Sure.
We
We love you guys.
Yeah. Join the Discord. Our Discord's been great.
Yes.
Join the Discord. Sure. That's something we should do too. And that Discord link is going to be on the Instagram post, right?
I think it's in our description.
Because it just put it on every post.
Yes.
Okay.
Please. And the Twitter too. Please. So that people can find it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't use the Twitter, so someone else does the Twitter.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore.
I
don't mess with
Okay.
Twitter. I
Okay.
mess with-
You know, make sure we have hashtags, all that good Twitter stuff,
know
and
it.
Instagram stuff, and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I forgot. Theo had a viral post that he posted on his own.
Oh my god, that was like 3 years
Yeah,
ago.
get over it.
Holy
Still on that? Yeah, that was
shit.
like, dude, that was like 4 years ago,
Think
actually.
about how many followers we could have
Oh,
gotten
you're
from
right,
that.
it was.
Like 2.
Yeah.
You're right. Holy crap. That's when the Switch first came out.
Yeah, and all of the characters were looking off in the distance. Why are all of these box arts exactly the same? Come on, guys. All right. Email 4205cast@gmail.com. We'll read it because we did it last week. So believe us when we say we'll do it.
We will.
Anything else? No? Okay, cool. Bye.
Bye.
4205. Cast off.